Хөрхөн охид trap сонсон Trap сонсон trap донсон Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан Дагаж дуулан дур булаа мууруулаа I'm a young trap nigga And you both don't know not to say Trap, I'm dancing.
What's up, people? Welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. We got a great show today. We're going live. We got Tyler Smith, the man, the Marine. The guy's a Marine, a badass. He fought for our right to have a podcast. He's also a fighter, a wrestling coach, an actor. He was in a band. This dude has did everything but have a job. A couple bands. So
yeah, all while having shitty part-time jobs.
I love it. Now he does security. He's the man. We also have Weendawg in the house.
What's up, dude?
I've watched you grow from a virgin to a creep.
Yep.
And I'm kidding. You're killing it, man. You're killing the game. You're awesome. You look good. You look healthy.
Oh, I just started keto. I've been on keto for about 3 days now. Which, you know, I went on keto for a while. I lost like 25 pounds and I gained like 15 pounds.
Yes. Have you started getting like keto flu or any of the shitty parts yet?
No, because I'm not really going 100% keto. I'm like 95% keto, you know, where I'm not like trying to purposely intake a high amount of fat.
Sneaking that candy though?
No. I'm just like, I just basically right now just cut out carbs and sugar, but I feel a little bit better, you know.
So, good for you. You look good, man. You look good.
Thank you.
Yes, you do.
And Greg Wilson's on his way. He thought the show was at 1.
Oh, he is coming.
He's coming.
Okay.
But listen, now it's time to forget what you know. Yes, frog. Forget. I said it. Forget it. Come on, people. It's time to forget everything you believe you know about frogs, because this particular one will literally knock your shirts off. Okay? Froggy MMA. Yes, people. I'm talking about Froggy MMA. It is the new challenger in the ring, ready to take on the big guys with their new kick-ass collection of MMA gear. And listen, I don't care how tough you think you are. Some of you guys think you're so fucking tough. You're not that tough, okay? You can bet your bottom dollar that if you let these guys hit you with their gear, it will be an instant knockout. Boom. Faster than Ben Askren get knocked out. 5 seconds. But you're out. You're out cold. Because their shirts and hoodies are so damn fluffy and comfortable. It will make grown-up men curl in fetal position with a huge grin on their face. I love doing that, especially after sex.
Every time I sleep, I end up waking up in a complete fetal position.
Really?
Like, it's comfortable.
It is comfortable.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
And they're even softer than Bisbing after round 2 against Henderson, okay? These shirts feel so good on your skin, you'll never want to take them off again, unless it's to change into another one, all right? They even got one for my little baby. They gave her a little baby onesie.
Nice.
It's her favorite thing to wear. Okay, you better get one each day of the week. Otherwise, I can guarantee you will become part of your body. You won't be able to take the thing off, okay? And don't forget your kids or the other half. My wife has a Froggy MMA thing. I have a Froggy MMA. Honestly, she never wears my shirts. She wears a Froggy MMA.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm telling you, and they will love you forever being so considerate. You'll never have to fork out money for marriage or counseling, nothing, okay? There's more, because this frog isn't in it for the money. They're not. It's for Chris and Joe, the founders of Froggy MMA. They're actually amazing people. They came to go see my show in Atlanta like 3 different times. I think it was in Tennessee. They came from Atlanta.
Whoa.
And they train with Lima, the Lima brothers.
Awesome.
Yeah. They're really good people, okay? And they've taken themselves into the sport, and they know how frustrating it is to obtain sponsorships, to deal with promotional demands, and they're like, screw that, we're going to do it because of their love of the game. So support them, okay? They're sponsoring Josh Danger Marer, Chelsea Bandita Brooks, and Hurricane Heather Joe Clark. Yes, Heather. We love Heather, okay? And with your help, they'll be able to soon add more people to fighters to their families. So check them out, Froggy MMA. Froggy MMA. Follow them on Instagram. Follow them on Twitter. Check them out, Froggy MMA.
Yeah,
also, Speedweed. Marijuana is legal in California. It is legal in California. You don't have to leave your house to get it. So go to speedweed.com. They will deliver it right to you. They got everything from THC sex lube to CBD to edibles. They're just great people, okay? And I love it. I love Speedweed. I'm all about it. I think their sexual CBD THC lotion saving my life. I'm not kidding, okay? Because
I keep forgetting to try it.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I keep forgetting. Like, I have it in my truck, ready to go, and like I just won't put it in my pocket.
My wife's kind of conservative, and she's like, get the lube. We don't have sex without it.
Right.
It makes sex so much better, and the weed's great, and they have all kinds of goodies. Check them out, speedweed.com. Mention Roasted, you get $10 off. $100 or more.
Rad.
I'll get all kinds of great edibles here. We got
What do we got?
CBD cannabis strips here.
Those are my favorite. Let me see those.
Yes.
It is my favorite.
We'll take one right now.
Ooh, 4-to-1 CBD oil. That's nice.
And also the sex lube, it isn't just for if you have a girlfriend or a wife. You can use it for masturbation as well.
Yes.
You know?
I mean, might as well get high when you masturbate.
Yeah.
Check them out.
I usually am high when I masturbate.
And
Really?
Sparks Cannabis.
I don't feel as bad.
What's up, guys? Let me talk to you about Sparks Cannabis. It's a vertically integrated, family-owned and operated cannabis company out of California's Central Valley. And they're going to remove the stigma and stereotypes that are associated with cannabis by showing how cannabis fits into the motto, everyone, every day. They got higher quality products, and they strive to provide curated experiences rather than a couch-locked high where you're just like sitting there like, oh, I can't move. No. Their Excite and Exhale product lines do this by focusing on the strains, terpenes, and how they interact to give you that curated experience. They're launching their flower line of premium pre-rolls and flower with pens and cartridges to follow by the end of the year. And you got to try their Sparks pre-rolls with premium 2-to-1 CBD THC flower. Same premium flower with less kick. I've been smoking this Sparks Cannabis, and trust me, people, this is the best stuff out there. By far the best stuff out there. And they love the planet, which is why they strive to be as eco-friendly as possible. And they're proud to be one of the first farms to have technologically advanced greenhouses that are completely solar-powered, which helps them reduce their carbon footprint, okay? You got to check it out. Sparks Cannabis. You got to go SparksCannabis.com. On Instagram, they're Sparks Cannabis, and they're great people. They're great marijuana, and you got to check them out. Sparks Cannabis, highly recommend. Thank you, Sparks Cannabis. And check out Manscaped. Listen, people, support for MMA Roasted comes from Manscaped, who is #1 in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Be professional. I once tried shaving my balls by myself. I cut them. It looked like I had fucking herpes, a rash. It hurt. I was wearing some kind of underwear, and I finally got lucky, and the girl was like, I'm not going near that thing, okay? And then sometimes you try to trim yourself, and you end up looking like Edward Scissorhands, and it's like mess down there. It's terrible, okay? It's not good. You got to check out the professionals, which is Manscaped, all right? Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. Yeah, their Lawnmower 2.0 has proprietary skin care technology, so this trimmer won't nick or snag your nuts. All right?
Dude, that is
how cool is that?
Lifesaver.
Yeah.
Manscaping accidents are a thing of the past. And don't use the same trimmer as on your face. Like, how do you want your balls your face smelling like your balls?
No, that's why I use my roommate's trimmer.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But there are some people like your balls are sweating all day. They're who knows what's going on down there, and then you're putting it on your face.
Yeah.
Come on, people smell like ball sack. It's not good. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why are you not putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body? And you get 20% off and free shipping with the code MMA Roasted at manscaped.com. Always use the right tools for the job. Your balls will thank you, okay? My balls gave me a personalized thank you card recently. I'm like, how did you guys even write? All right, so
That's sweet.
you get 20% off and free shipping with the code MMA Roasted at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code MMA Roasted. Check them out, okay? Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels, okay? Support MMA Roasted. It comes from Manscaped, who is #1 in men's below-the-belt grooming. #1. We want #1.
Boom.
All right, so it's been a great, good week. It was just crazy. I had an audition, right? And this was the one where, like, I was like, I thought I know when I bomb auditions because I do it frequently.
Yeah.
But this one, I'm like, it was like 5 of us in a room. We were making fun of singers, it was like a American Idol meets, funny, whatever. And it got to the point where like I had a joke for everybody, really quick jokes, and the other comics in the room were like, dude, you're really good at this, man. Holy shit. But I'm like, if I don't get this, there's something off.
Right.
I'm like, if I don't get this, something wrong. But then when I walked in, there was like the casting director just knew this other guy. Like they were just best friends, and these guys looked like me. But I'm like, there's got to be. So then of course I don't get it. The person who got me the audition was like, hey, did you hear back? I'm like, no. She's like, oh, well, I guess you didn't get it. I'm like, thanks for reminding me that I didn't get it.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
The picture, it was the best friends. And it made me like really appreciate a couple things.
Nepotism in Hollywood.
Wrestling, it made me appreciate because the thing that's so pure about wrestling is if you're the best guy in the room,
You're the best
you're
guy
the best
in the room.
guy in the room. It doesn't matter if the ref knew somebody or the coach knew somebody. It's the most pure thing. And same with fighting, usually, because there's no judges in wrestling either.
Right.
I mean, and there is, I think, in Greco-Roman maybe or something, but not in like, maybe a ref can screw up something, but for 99.9% of the time, it's just...
It's pretty cut and dry, yeah.
It's so pure. And stand-up comedy is sort of that way, too, when you're on stage. When you go off stage and all of a sudden there's booking and this and that.
Right.
I've had plenty of showcases where I thought I had the best reaction that I didn't get, and then all of a sudden you realize that, like, this comic's managed by the person who's putting on the show, and it's just... Things are out of your...
Right.
But stand-up comedy
control.
and wrestling are two things where it's very pure. And I don't know, it really made me appreciate...
Well, yeah, because the results are instant. Not the results, but your feedback is instant. Like, if you say a joke and people laugh, all right, it was a good joke. If they don't, okay, shitty joke or whatever.
Greg Wilson just joined us.
maybe-
Hey, sorry.
I was saying, I had this audition that I thought I nailed. Like, it was one of those things. It was like 5 comics in a room
Right.
making one-liners about somebody. I'm like,
Right.
it was like made
Right
for
up your
me.
alley. Totally. This is you all day.
And I was getting the biggest laughs.
Right.
Every
You're
single
definitely
time.
not going to get it.
No, biggest laughs every time. But were other comedians afterwards who are not like the nicest comics were like, damn, you're really good at this. Like,
Right.
holy shit. And I'm like, I got this. Like this beautiful black woman was like, man, you're funny as hell. You know, where do you perform at? Like, it was one of those things. And I'm like, okay. But then when I walked in the room, the casting director knew 2 of the guys that were like my type, not tall, white, you know, male.
Yeah.
Tall, muscular,
And I'm
handsome.
I'm perfect.
Strong build, big dick, you know, everything.
male.
It's like
You know,
carbon
my
copies
type,
of
my
each other.
type.
And I'm like, if I don't get it, there's something off. And then when I looked at who got it, it was those 2 guys.
Yeah.
And it was a black comic and an Asian comic and a white. Like, they went down the
Sure.
they had to get every single part. And I was like, of course. Like,
Yeah.
Of course. And I'm like, but I was saying how it makes you appreciate the art of stand-up comedy, because if you're funny, they're going to laugh. For the
Yeah.
most part. And also sports, combat sports, because if you're good, you're going to win, or if you're better than the person. But there's very few things.
Generally, yes.
There are very few
generally.
things.
Unless you send it to that's why you never want to
Unless
send it to the
you're-
judges,
yeah.
because that's when things get screwy, and it's the guy who you obviously think should have won sometimes doesn't, and you're like, what the fuck? So
wrestling. I was saying wrestling because there's no judges in wrestling.
right, well, that's scripted in advance.
No, like actual wrestling.
Oh, I thought you were talking WWE. I'm like, of course, there's no judges in that. I mean, that's
If you're the best guy, you're
they-
obviously going to win.
Exactly. No, they already know who's going to win going in there.
No, like amateur wrestling.
Oh, okay.
You know, like,
oh, right. Like NCAA,
collegiate.
high school,
Collegiate and Olympic
actual
wrestling.
It seems like, it seems like that's one of the most beautiful things about that sport. But there's is it too hot in here?
No, it's fine.
But there are very few things out there that it almost sets you up for failure, because you get to life and you're like, wait, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
This isn't fair.
Yeah.
How come this isn't fair?
Dude, the Marine Corps fucking ruined my life because it got me used to people just putting their head down and doing what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it. And
Well, that's what they want.
I go,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
now
that's
I
the
go to
culture
work
now.
and I'm like, hey, can we get this done? Oh, well, you know, if and I shouldn't have. It's like, fucking shut up and just do what you're supposed to do.
Right,
Just do your job. Just do your
Exactly.
job. That's it.
But you're also a different kind of Marine where, like, you know, you
Jewish.
You want a Tulsi Gabbard to win. You're for Tulsi
Oh,
Gabbard.
dude, Tulsi 2020, baby. Let's go.
So-
I like her. She's smart. She's good.
Let's go.
I like her too.
She has
And
some
she's
questionable
also, she's
things
Also
that people like,
Air
you know.
Force, right? Or she what was
Army.
It? Army.
Yeah.
But you don't vote. A lot of Marines and military, they vote straight Republican. Like they're just,
Straight up, yeah.
Yeah.
and that seems like that's not you.
Yeah. Well,
How
it's
do-
like
and
a
how
lot
do my dog get
of
out there?
guys will vote like
Leave the door open.
He may have followed me out.
one issue voters.
Right.
Gun laws,
Abortion.
Second Amendment stuff, abortion stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
All the
I
good
think
stuff.
that's the public in general, though. A lot of the like now it
I think
seems
it's
like
tragic that people are still fooled into thinking that they really give a shit about that. Like the abortion, so many people like vote Republican based on the abortion thing, but they
Right.
haven't done shit about it in like
Right.
30 years.
Yeah.
It's a fucking lie. They
yeah,
say
but
they care,
also
they don't really care.
but also it's like if you're gonna go on one thing and just not even worry about like okay, Trump's pro-life or whatever. So we're going to vote for him and not worry about all the other bullshit. Like, come on, like, use your brains. That's all we're saying. I don't know why we're talking about politics.
Full of shit. Don't get me wrong. They're completely
Oh,
because
they're
they
all
talk
full
about
of shit.
gun reform and everything. What have they done in the last 50 fucking years?
Right.
Zero. It's all fucking lies, and I mean that on both sides. I'm not.
yeah.
And a lot of those also
All
a lot
of
of
them.
Democrats are like pro-environment, and they're like taking their private jets everywhere. It's
Yeah, exactly.
like the Hummer.
It's all a sham.
So anyway, let's talk about some fights.
Anarchy
Let's talk some
2020.
fights that happened.
Totally. It's all bullshit both ways. It's like you watch it and you're like, although I think Biden buried himself in those debates.
Oh, he started off saying, "Go easy on me, kid." Like, why would he say
Well,
that?
and he
was mic'd. You know you're mic'd, dude, right? Like,
And he kept
You're running for the president of the United States,
And everyone
right?
kept like finishing their statement. They'd be like time, and they would finish the statement, but he would just shut up. Like they would say time, like okay,
Those are the
I'm like,
rules.
right. And I'm like, oh my god. And he kept
They told
stuttering,
me to
and he couldn't
stop.
find his words. I'm like, dude.
Hey, you know what?
don't
The guy's
stand a
75 years
chance.
old, so
Exactly. I'm like, you just demonstrated you're not the guy because you don't stand a chance.
but you don't think
against
he's
Trump.
got the best chance though?
No.
Who has a better chance?
None of them.
We'll see who emerges.
Donald Trump,
Personally, I like
2020.
Elizabeth Warren. That's
Trump
me.
2020.
Yeah, baby.
All right.
Why?
Another 4 years of chaos. I mean, I'm into that too.
He just likes to take the opposite stance.
How can you not like Donald Trump? He's like the best freaking president we've ever had.
There it is.
He's
Okay.
better than Abe
Which,
Lincoln?
listen,
Yeah.
no, wait a minute. And let's be honest. People that believe that honestly believe that.
Yeah, because of the
you're welcome to
certain
believe that all you
things.
want. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's politics.
The economy's
baby.
good. If the economy tanks, there's going to be a lot of problems.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like pro-Trump because they're getting rich or they're doing well monetarily.
Right, and you know what? It's hard to knock a guy out when the economy is good.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Because they talk about voting on one issue. That's one issue across the board.
fair enough,
That
yeah.
everybody feels. Democrat, Republican, Independent, doesn't matter. If you're doing well, you notice,
I mean-
and you're like, well, I don't want to stop this gravy train.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine, let's say Bernie Sanders wins, right? And then all of a sudden everything tanks. Like how much that would set back
fucking
Democrats
laugh,
for
dude.
like
Oh, completely.
100 years.
I will laugh.
That,
I will laugh.
like all of a sudden
Well,
gas
and
prices are like $18 a gallon.
And that's why I think it can't be Bernie, because he would make people fear for the economy slowing down, and that would scare everybody away from him.
But people thought when Trump won, everything would go to chaos too, which almost
it has.
almost make well
Fit in a
really?
different way.
in a different way, not financially, in every other category.
I don't know.
It feels like since he got elected, the entire country has just been on the verge of just imploding.
But I don't feel like my life is
But
that different than when
it's
Obama
not.
was president. Do
It's
you?
not.
No.
So then,
It's not. And that's the point. But people are so scared of the what if. We could do this. Or he's the type of person
but you don't
that
think
would
maybe
do
that
this.
maybe it's
yeah,
social
just
media
like,
has changed now.
what has
You
he
know
done?
people's opinions where before you didn't
Oh,
know
for
everyone's
sure.
opinion.
I think
For
that's
sure.
part of it. That's part of it. I think the concern we have to have is the fact that this economy, this booming economy, we've seen this before. Here's the thing. We've seen it before. It's called laissez-faire economics. We saw it in the roaring 20s when things were as big and as fast and as beautiful as they get. And what came right after it?
The Great
Thank you very
fucking
much.
Depression.
That's what happens when you build an economy based
But
on
are they
deregulation.
But are they giving out housing loans to everybody right now?
That was the last time they did it.
That was 08.
Again,
That was
it's
No, I'm
about,
saying, but right now they're not doing that. That
No.
was a big-
Right, but I'm saying it's about deregulation. At that time, they deregulated the housing industry, allowed investment banks and commercial banks to merge their funds so that they weren't separate entities.
what are they deregulating
they're
now?
So now they're deregulating everything. Every possible regulation you could want has all been taken out. There's zero enforcement.
Yeah.
And essentially it works like this. Okay, you take the brakes off a car, it's going to go faster, but it's also definitely going to crash.
Yeah.
And that's the reality.
I do fear that.
The Greg Romero.
But let's see. Okay, so let's talk about PFL for a second. That's something I do know about.
Brilliant.
So Chris Wade now is in the playoffs. You know, I like Chris Wade. He's a guy that good guy that never got the props. They put him up against Dagestani guys. I don't know what they're doing in Dagestan. Like, why is this little place just breed such killers?
The Bears, dude.
Is it?
Why
It's
do
all
you
the
think
Bears.
That's the
The
one-
Bears.
That's the majority of their economy is being hired to be killers for other governments. I mean, that's what they breed
But
there.
they're-
It's a
Fair
cold,
enough, yeah.
hard country. I mean, that's their culture.
I know.
Seemingly, I'm
Good
guessing.
old-
No,
Good old Chechens.
I
I'm
know-
joking mostly.
I
I'm
know.
joking,
Well, what
but-
they also say is that if you're good at wrestling or combat sports, your family is taken care of.
Yeah.
Your whole for life. So it's sort of like that's what you want to do.
It's like, why are there so many kids from the inner city that are good at football or that are in the NFL? It's the same thing. Like that's the way out. So in
I know, but there's a
Dagestan,
lot more
wrestling's the
inner-city-
fucking way
but
out.
Dagestan seems like it's like this, but it seems like a lot more inner city kids in the U.S. than this little country. I don't know how many people are in Dagestan. There's like 20 of them. They're all world champions. It's like fucking
It's probably like a million.
Listen,
Probably
but
a
you
million
also got to keep
people.
in mind, I mean, these are also monocultural countries. In other words,
True.
the majority of their people are the same.
Yep.
You know, so they're coming from a tree that obviously breeds this kind of physicality that is built for this.
Yeah.
You know,
and they've been doing it for thousands of years. You know, it's like the
Exactly.
same methods. It's like those kids that you see punching the trees in Russia or whatever, that family.
Yeah.
They go out and train in the forest like the Shevchenko sisters. They've probably been doing that. Family's been doing that
they're so hot.
for
For
generations. Exactly.
Generations. Yeah.
Exactly. And so it's just that, you know, it's a little different.
Have
I mean,
you ever hooked
America,
up with a
we
Russian
are a
girl?
melting pot in that regard.
No,
Genetics.
scary. Too scary.
Banging, I banged in my day like a bunch of Russians and Eastern Europeans.
Well, New York was loaded
Oh
with
yeah,
them.
especially strippers.
Yeah.
They have no emotion. Like you,
Yes.
you don't know if you're doing well or they're gonna stab you during
Well,
sex.
and that's what makes them the best mail order bride. So, because so long as the lights are on and the fridge is full, they will keep fucking you. They will. You just got to hold up your end of the deal.
I wasn't
Like,
getting
all right,
paid
I'm
that,
here.
though. But the thing
That's why
about
they didn't marry you.
Well, yeah,
they
it's true.
married Trump.
well, the thing about
Just joking.
the thing about
She's
New
from
York,
They-
Estonia.
the thing
She's
about New
Estonian.
York strip clubs
I'm just
and,
joking.
and Las
Everyone
Vegas.
relax.
The thing is, like, I used to like pull girls from New York, from like the Rhino
Right.
in Vegas and in splash dances in New York, and everyone's like, "How did you do that?" Because those strip clubs make so much money, those girls, because guys are just spending like 30. They're taking them. They're sugar daddy. They're 25,000, buying them cars, paying that. They don't need the money. A lot of them, like they don't need your $20. Like they're not like hustling you. You go to a strip club in Missouri. Everyone's going to you. Hey, want to buy a dance? Wanna buy a
Right,
dance?"
right.
But what I would find was that if they would like bang because they liked me or because they wanted to because they didn't need the cash.
Right.
So it was a lot easier.
Dude,
So-
it's so easy if you're a relatively decent looking guy who's not a fucking creep and you're like young and like kind of
Well,
cool.
that's the thing,
It's
yes,
so easy
yes.
to bang a stripper, dude.
Because it's usually,
so easy.
It's basically now guys like me. That's most of older guys who are gross but have money, right? So yes, if you were the
Like,
younger
come on,
guy,
baby, and you
that was-
walk in,
that was
yeah.
kind of
You're
good.
cute in your own way.
Okay, so
Yeah, I agree.
please. You know what? People are always like, I can't believe Summer never travels with you. How do she doesn't worry? I'm like, no, she knows nobody's trying to fuck me. So here's,
I've seen you get girls out of your league.
but that was back then. Not now.
Yeah,
but
Now
you're
I'm
that's
like-
different because you're funny.
The point
But it's
is,
also comedy.
most of the guys in the
Yeah.
strip club paying the money are older, rich, gross guys.
Right.
So if you are a younger guy that's pretty good looking, that's kind of fun to be around, yeah, they're gonna go home with you.
And
You know
also,
you don't have the money, but
if-
at least you're not, this
But
old
I would also
gross
tell
dude.
them that I'm a comic, right? And then also the fact that I was see a couple of different things. Number one, if like I'm a comic, come to my show, so I come, and a lot of them would come to the show and be like, "Oh shit, this guy's living his dream." It's very sexy to women, the guys that are not following the herd.
Yeah.
Even if you're
failing,
If you're a rock in New York, it's okay to fail. In LA, you're a loser.
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
Without question.
True.
But in New York,
I gotta move to New York.
If you take a girl to
Well,
your,
yeah, in New York, being cool is all you got to be. There's no cars.
if you take a girl to your one bedroom, even if it's a shithole, which mine was,
Yeah.
the fact that
You
like
have a bedroom.
you're in New York,
Yeah.
bedroom, and you're pursuing your dream, you're gonna get laid.
Totally.
In LA, you take a girl back to your shithole place. She's
And they're
like,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
get me. And plus, in New York, there was no cars. So, and, like,
True.
so if you were drunk and she was a little drunk, by the time that like both of you realized this was a bad idea, it was like too late. Versus like in LA where everyone gets in their car and they're like, why the fuck am I going home with this guy? And
Yeah.
like,
Can I
Right,
tell you
right.
one time in New York, this hot girl who I'd been trying to bang for a while, she calls me over. She's like, we got a hotel room. We're in Midtown. Come on, I want to see you, Greg. I want to see you. And I was like, okay. Let me look at, okay, it's after 1 o'clock in the morning. It's probably after 2, right? Which means the subway's not an option. If I want to go there, I'm in Brooklyn, which means I need a car service. You can't, there's no cabs.
Yeah.
You can fly there. This is before Uber.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'd have to call a car service. Car service is going to be $22 minimum. And I look at my wallet and I had $12. And I'm like,
All right.
I can't, like, my only option here is to get the car and then ditch on the car when we get there. Like, throw $12 at him and run. And I'm like, I can't do it. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to fuck over some driver who drove me all the way from Brooklyn to Midtown. You know, I'm like, I can't. So I was just like, I'm never going to make it, babe. And I just didn't go and fuck her.
Ah, that's a terrible story.
It's a terrible story.
I got a question.
But that was New York. I mean, you know.
This is mainly for you and Greg,
New York.
because you guys are older than me and Tyler. So back then, you guys were crushing puss all the time. I'm sure you guys, your number is like probably like 200 girls you guys have banged. What would that number be if you guys had something like Tinder back in the day?
Oh, forget it.
Oh, forget it. Yeah, it was.
You probably double the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If girls could see a show and then reach out to you digitally, because you knew there were girls that were there with guys that were like leaving with them, but looking back at you like, I would totally fuck you if I didn't have to leave with this guy right now.
Right.
And if they had, because again, this is also before, most of the social media. This is, in the dawning of the age of Friendster at this point. And so if we'd had, right. So if we'd even had, once MySpace came in, I was clocking them on MySpace. Any girls saw you after a show and they'd hit you up on MySpace, boom, we were hitting it the next day. So I mean, even at the very nascent era of this technology, my numbers went up because of it. And if I'd had Tinder or one of those or something, or even where they could reach out to you on Twitter and find like they can now, forget about it.
Not only that, but but when Tinder first came out, I realized that I could put the location to like where I was going to be in like a week. So I would start swiping for North Carolina while I was here.
Right, send it up.
And then just line them all up,
I've had feature access to this. They take them on the road and they're just boom, boom, boom.
But New York
Every show, they have different girls on the show. Because they're like, hey, come to my show. Come to my show. I'm like, if I'd had that, oh my God.
But as a comic, New York was pretty easy because I worked in Times Square. It was all tourists. I lived in Times Square.
Yeah.
And when girls are on vacation, and
they want something to happen. They want something wild to happen.
And you're a comic,
you need a story, dude.
And then but then I would try to sometimes reach out to those girls like 2 months later, and I go to their town, and they'd be like, ignore me.
Totally.
Because they're like, now all of a sudden, like, reality kicked in.
Yeah, they want their friends to see you with them. Yeah. And that was the other thing. The difference between New York and LA is in LA, everybody's kind of doing the same thing. In New York, everybody's doing different things. So if I was out to dinner with people, I'm the comedian actor, okay? I'm the one in the entertainment industry. Person next to me is in finance. This girl's a model. The other person's in publishing. The other person's in whatever. Yeah. Everything was different, everyone had everything you could do is done in New York.
Right.
So everyone was doing different things. So girls would be fascinated that you're an actor. Oh, you're a comedian. Oh, we'd love to come to your show. Yeah. Whereas in LA, you go, oh, I'm a comedian. And they're like, oh, I was thinking about doing that.
Right.
Like,
right.
Oh my God. All right.
But like also part of the fact that like part of the attraction is that they're never going to see you again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's part of what that's part of why they like you. And they don't have to actually live with you, live with this mistake or whatever or whatever it is. I remember one time after a show, these two girls brought me back to their hotel. And I was like 22. One of them was like hot with like short red hair. The other one was a little bigger, but whatever. She was still pretty face. And they had Coke and they lined it on my dick. And right before the girl did a line off my dick, she goes, "We're never gonna have a relationship."
And you're like, thank God.
And you're like, feels like a wedding proposal right here.
No shit.
Yeah. What a weird.
No shit. By the way,
I'm just doing blow off.
Do that
dick,
blow and
okay?
suck this dick.
This doesn't mean I love you.
I actually have a tip for people who are using Tinder still that listen to the podcast. So by now, Tinder has been out for like 3-4 years. All the girls have already had all the dick in the world. So what you got to do is you got to set the age range to just 18 years old.
No, they just got on it.
Yeah, and it's fresh puss.
Do not do that.
I think that's a brilliant tip.
It's a brilliant idea, dude.
I'm with this.
I go opposite. Set it to 45 and up, baby. 45 and up.
But if you think about it, they just got released from the cage too.
Yes,
so you're both talking about new players.
Yeah,
you're talking about the same strategy.
Yeah, but do you want a player who's never played the game or the veteran who's been in it and just like has all the tricks and is going to show you the ropes?
All of the above.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to say.
And always tell the girl that you're a virgin too, no matter what.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Forget what I just said.
I'm just going to get away with that.
I have a brilliant idea for a dating app. Just divorced.
Just divorced.
Yeah.
Women that just got just divorced.
That's got to be a thing.
Really?
Gotta be a
I don't
thing.
know it.
If it's not, then let's do it right now.
The only thing better than a woman who's just divorced is a woman who's thinking about divorce.
But like just divorced, Doc, right? I think
Put her over the edge.
Oh, yeah.
Here, let me make that decision a little easier for you.
She's out there just testing the water.
Hey, one way or another, it's going to be easier.
Right. Seeing if she's like still attractive. Like, does anybody still want me? It's like, I still do.
Or she's gonna get something, and it's gonna be like, all right, okay.
Right,
It's
pretend right
nothing
back,
different than
right.
fucking my dirty old husband. I'll just go back to.
At that point, she just needs she needs confirmation that she won't be alone. You know?
Yeah.
And you just throw a little water on that flower, and she just springs right to life, baby.
Moral of the story: 45 and up,
45 and up.
or 18, 18
to 19,
or
slash
45 and up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk about. So, all right, what else?
Back to the fights.
Wait, can I tell you? Wait. Can we do one more New York story?
Sure.
One time, I may have told this on the show before. Me and another comic, and I want to say it was Rich Aronovich. I'm not sure, but we picked up these two girls in Times Square after a show. We go back to the little room that they'd rented, but it was just one room with one bed that took up the whole room, basically. So we all took our shoes off and got on the bed, and then right as we were, starting to, the foot stank.
Rich?
Oh, yeah.
All four of us. I don't know who. It was a combo flavor of
Yeah.
four. Think of a suicide of stink.
What happened?
Okay, it filled the room so bad that I'm one of those people. If it smells bad, I lose all. I can't get past it. I can't get past it. And it smelled like rancid cheese and I was just like, so I go, where's the restroom? And they're like, oh, it's right, right, you got to go down the stairs. It's right there. I'm like, okay, great. And I put on my shoes and I go downstairs. I use the restroom. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't fucking get through the smell. I got to get out of here. So as I'm walking out, there's Rich or whoever the other comic was. And he's like, where you going? I'm like, dude, it smells too fucking bad up there. I can't fucking do it. He goes, I know, I can't do it either. And he put his shoes on and we ran the fuck
you guys
out.
left?
We left.
But it might have been your feet.
I think it was my feet. I think it was all our feet. But I mean, I was definitely contributing. I think we were all contributing.
You can.
Again, it was a combo flavor, bro, and it was
Yeah, but you know your own stink, so
You
you
do.
can smell your stink and other stink.
Yes, and
And you know, like, all right, maybe mine might be the worst of it, but these are definitely
it was
there.
yes, and the combination was just. It was too much. It was too much.
I remember one time with my ex, I went down on her and I could taste something tingly, and I go, "Do you have a yeast infection?" She goes, "I don't know. Do I?" I'm like, "What am I?"
That's a terrible.
What am I?
fucking
What am I? A
answer.
taste tester?
Yeah.
What,
Well, it doesn't smell like oatmeal.
yeah, but then she did have one.
That's actually how doctors test for yeast infections.
Yeah.
They go out there. They're like, let me get in there. Oh, yep, definitely yeast infection.
Thank you, Dr. Nasser.
Oh yeah, that was rough, Nasser.
That
All right.
sick fuck.
So
Well, I tell you what, that dad that tried to attack him, that was who I would be. When that dad tried to attack him, I'm like, God bless that man.
Yep.
That's
Oh, yeah.
exactly what every dad wants to do. I just wish the guards would just kind of like slip up a little, like,
shit,
whoa,
we couldn't get to him in
Oh,
time.
Exactly. He got in a good 9-20 blows before we could subdue him.
Yep.
Like, if I were the guard, that's what I would do. I'd be like, I tried. That guy was strong. He got right past me.
Just fall on
I
the
would've-
ground.
Totally. I would have let him run me over, get in at least a dozen good licks
Yeah.
before I pinned that guy.
Yeah.
I hate that they stopped him.
I thought you meant Josh Nasser. I was like, what the hell?
Not Josh.
Okay, so anyway,
Josh,
that's
yeah.
my
Don't
thought.
put that on him.
I know.
mean, he is,
All right. Jeremy Kennedy beat Steven Seiler. Steven's having a tough time. He made the finals last year for the million, and then now he's 0-2 this year. Good for Jeremy Kennedy. I'm happy for him. Nathan Schultz, who looks unbeatable. Andre Harrison got a draw. It was a good fight. So that was
I
good.
watched some of those fights.
And then PFL's this weekend, this Thursday. We'll talk about that coming up. Also, Bubba Jenkins won in Brave.
Yay!
Awesome.
Quickly. Flying knee.
Really? I'll have to
To
go
a
look this up.
flying-
Bubba Jenkins flying
knee
knee.
to a takedown to ground and pound stoppage, 1 round.
Let's
Now,
beautiful.
so you saw this. You saw it.
I read about it.
Okay, so is it available to be seen anywhere?
Yeah, you could watch it.
Okay.
It was
Probably
like,
On the
Find it on
dark
YouTube.
web.
yeah, it was on Fight
Go-
TV.
go-
Are you
deep.
saying that because he's black? Is that what you're saying,
I mean
Jumper?
the what's
Is that
it
what you're
called?
saying, Jumper?
No. I mean that's like the only place you can watch it.
Yeah. Truth is out
I'm gonna
there.
edit this out.
It was on Fight TV. You can watch it. But now Bubba's next level.
Yeah.
Confident. You thought he was confident before?
Oh my God, yes.
Wait till you see his
but God
Instagram.
bless him. You know what? If his ability were to match his confidence, he can be a world champion.
His ability is off the charts.
And that's the thing. And it seems to be, if you're saying he's throwing flying knees, it seems like it's growing. It sounds like he's building. It sounds like he's doing what's needed to be done this whole time.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. That's great news.
And then Anthony Burchak won. I'm happy for him. He won an LFA.
Nice choke.
And then let's talk about the
Jaw crank
UFC.
or something.
Max Holloway. Look, I like Max Holloway, but that broke my heart. Frankie Edgar. He looks a lot bigger than Frankie Edgar. Didn't he look like?
Doesn't he
bigger
look
than Frankie.
Doesn't he look like they took Frankie and just stretched him out?
Yes.
And that's who Max Holloway is?
Max Holloway, we saw Max Holloway at Fight Week, my roommates and one of my other friends saw him. They said he was bigger than me, had like a fucking gut, had to be 190.
Yeah, I mean,
190, dude. Frankie walks around at 55.
Yeah.
Frankie could easily. I don't know if he can win the
I don't
belt
know.
at 35, but I would love to see him versus Cejudo. That'd be a great fight.
Yeah, but he's always talked about not wanting to cut weight. You know, he probably has to cut 5 pounds to make 45.
But when his kid gave him a hug at the end, that was like the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Tears in his eyes.
Or what about when Max tried to raise his arm up and he was like, no, don't bother. And he yanked it down like, no, let's not play that game.
Frankie's like everything right with sports.
Yeah, he is.
And like being a man and being a human and everything.
But you know what? Max too.
Max
is a fucking class act.
100%.
I love
Both of
Max
them.
You know, what was
Holloway.
interesting to me was that they kept, after round 2, they were like, well, it's 1-1 right now. I'm like, what? And then they were...
Are you insane?
Totally. And then as it goes through and watch the whole fight, I'm like, in my mind, it's 5-0.
Well,
and then the cards came out and 2 judges had it 5-0. And that's what I thought, you know?
I thought it might have been 4-1.
Well, one gave him 3-2.
I do think that. Well, here's what happened.
I was like, you amazing.
Again,
Frankie-
MMA judging.
But also,
Yeah.
Frankie was landing a lot of punches, but then every time Max landed, it was like the fight was almost over. It seemed like he was like really
Just
hurting
dak,
him,
dak, dak.
you know?
Yeah.
Whereas Frankie was landing, but didn't seem to be really affecting him that
That leg
bad.
kick, if he would just stuck with that leg kick, it might have slowed him down. I don't know why he didn't use it more. The commentators were talking about it.
Yeah.
Joe was talking about it.
Yep.
I mean, it's like that was working for him, but he just wasn't using it that much.
Yeah.
And instead, he was going in with his face and getting tagged up every time.
Mm-hmm.
That was rough. I don't know where Frankie goes from here, but he's right there. I mean, he fought a hell of a fight against the champ.
Yeah.
He's obviously one of the best in the world. I just don't know. I don't know. You know, it's a hard thing to talk about.
Do you think he would have had a better chance if he would have taken him down more?
He tried.
He tried. He couldn't get him to the ground. He got him to the ground once.
That guy was.
And then he did almost nothing with it, and he got back up. Holloway got right back up.
He was so much bigger than him.
He was.
But he's also, I mean, look at what he did to Brian Ortega. I mean, Brian Ortega really didn't try to take him down, but Brian Ortega's a big dude too, and he fucked him up.
And Aldo,
fucked him
and
up bad.
And that's it. Joe Rogan said one thing at the beginning that I made note of that was true the entire fight was he was a master at distance.
Yep.
And I watched the fight. I'm like, boy, that's right on the money.
Yeah.
He is a
He's
master
like Connor.
at distance.
He's exactly like Connor. He knows exactly.
Except he's not doing coke and throwing
Well,
dollars
yeah.
and like everything.
fighting
That's what
once
I
every
like
4
about
years.
Connor.
He knows exactly where his range is and his opponent's range is. So
Yeah.
he doesn't have to move a lot or use a lot of energy to get out of the way of those punches. So it's all little slips, little backups. Like if you slow it down, he's getting glanced on the shoulder, he's getting fists right by his face, but nothing's hitting him really clean, and that's the beauty of Max.
Yep.
You know, it's and then he just puts it all together perfectly.
Yeah, that did-
it's just clean, crisp punching.
Yeah.
He never goes over probably 60%. You know,
He has
it's just
he has
put
his
this
hands
pace on.
in a weird wide thing, but also keeps him in an incredibly dangerous, ready to, with power.
Well,
just,
it's
in
look at
a trigger position at all times.
Like Nate Diaz, same thing.
Yeah.
They don't stand like traditional boxing. All right, I'm gonna snap him out.
Right.
Which makes those punches are coming from fucking everywhere. You don't know where they're coming from.
Exactly.
If I have my hand floating in front of your face, I can throw an uppercut.
Which is crazy because I also think that Frankie would have done better against Poirier, and Poirier just fucking walloped Max Holloway.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe Frankie should be at 35. But
I think the move for Frankie is 35.
But how would he do against Henry Cejudo? That would be an interesting fight. I mean, but
That's a
I'm
banger.
happy they're not making.
That's a great fight.
That's a banger.
But I'm
That's
happy-
a great fight.
But I'm happy they're not making Cejudo Faber next because
No.
they were thinking about it. But Faber, did beat Ricky Simone, but he's not a top 10 guy right now. And then all of a sudden you just give him a title shot. It's like, what are we? Why have rankings?
Yeah, exactly.
And also, it seemed like he got lucky. I mean, it did. I mean,
Like he was hurt.
Yes, he was getting, and then he caught a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, but until then, he was taking some hits, and he didn't, in my opinion, didn't look like he was on the road to winning the fight.
He didn't. It wasn't like he dominated.
It's like he got one good haymaker off, and that saved his ass.
That kind of, and then they all kind of stopped it a little quickly too.
They did, and so I was like,
Could have been, yeah.
But I mean, so to me, he was losing the fight before that.
Oh, he was.
Well, I mean,
was only a
Ricky
minute and a
Simone
half.
also
But that's
came
what
at
I'm
him
saying.
like a bat out of hell
That's
and
what I'm
was
saying.
just
But he
throwing
got some
fucking
good shots
everything.
on him, and I felt like he was in trouble, and then he landed one good one, and it saved him. I didn't look at it and be like, oh, he's back. Oh, you better watch out.
Also, I think him being in Sacramento and the crowd reacting that way, it kind of swayed it. Like, oh my God, he's back. But then you think about it, like, let's not. But if he did that if he had that same fight against, Marlon Moraes or something, and you go, oh shit, that's the number 2 guy he just took out.
Yeah.
Well, all right, let's give him a title shot.
True.
But against a guy that just
But
came up
not-
with the Contender Series that has like 1 win in the UFC, let's relax a little
Let's
bit.
relax.
Now,
He hasn't fought in a year.
Chris Cyborg, that girl Felicia Spencer looks like she came in
Fucking
there
tank, dude.
in like she drove a caravan or something. What are those mom things that like
Right,
Minivan?
a minivan? It looks like he was
Caravan.
not a
Well,
caravan.
one is called a caravan.
Dodge
Really?
Caravan.
The Dodge
Oh, okay.
Caravan. There's the Aerostar.
That's what I
the
thought when they
Teleca-
kept saying the caravan's coming. I'm like, that's 8 people. Like, what the fuck?
So, from the Oregon Trail.
I really was like, why is everyone
Why
worried
is
about
everyone
this
worried about
caravan?
this? They only hold up to 812 if they're
I'm
children.
like, how big is this cat? All right. So anyway, but yeah, the minivan. It looked like this woman. It looked like she could fight at 125 if she lost weight. Felicia Spencer.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't even show her midsection, but it looked like it was.
No, she had a muffin top going pretty hard. But I feel like it's more of like one of those things where like she used to be heavier and lost weight, and in her being conditioned for her still has a certain
She
amount
can
of.
take a punch.
Holy crap! I know, man.
Yeah.
She got wiped down the leg and just kept coming. Like, I'm still getting you, motherfucker. Like,
Wild.
she had a real, an animal
Wild.
aggression to her
Yeah.
that was pretty impressive.
I was hoping. I was
amazed it went the
I was
distance.
almost waiting for her to win in some way. I'm like, if this goes to the second round, maybe she could.
Yeah.
And in the third round, I'm like, no, this is not.
Well, she landed that good elbow, though. I mean, there was a second there.
Then she kept going for it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I give Felicia. I'm a fan now. I was a fan before, but now I'm really a fan.
I had no idea who she was, but I'm a fan now. Her toughness, I was impressed. I was impressed by her toughness.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely has that grit, like that. I think a lot of female fighters don't have like that type of jaw where they have like the tenacity and they're like you watch the female fights and they fucking are trying to kill each other most of the time. But a lot of them, they're either not hitting that hard or they don't have the jaw. Like everybody that Cyborg's fought, except for Amanda Nunes, like you can see they just don't have that jaw. This was like, what the fuck is happening?
It was
right
crazy.
now? Like,
I also think,
like
do you think
she
maybe
beat me up.
Totally. God bless her. She
But do
is
you think
tough as
also
nails.
maybe
Holy
some
crap.
of Cyborg's mystique is gone since getting knocked out by, and now girls are like, you know what? I don't have to, like, before it was like, oh, I got hit by a Cyborg, and now like I could take this punch.
Maybe.
It seemed
Maybe.
like it.
I
I was
don't
like,
know.
I walked out of it going, well, I guess Cyborg isn't, it
What she
just-
once was.
Yeah, like I did kind of feel that way because she didn't put this girl out, and
Yeah.
this to me going into it, I thought this was an obvious get right fight.
Yeah.
For her, like, let's give her someone
The
she
6-1
kills in the
favorite.
first round,
Yeah.
and we're like, great, she's back, and then this girl lasted her through all 3 rounds. That was the only thing that I found amazing about the fight was that this girl stood there
Yeah.
and lasted all
just
3
took
rounds,
it, yeah.
and I was like, I don't know if this says something about her or if it says something about Cyborg.
Well, now
Combo.
afterwards,
Exactly. Little from column A, little from
after the
column
fight,
B.
Nunez is like, all right, let's do a rematch. So I think she might have felt
She's
the same
ready,
way
yeah.
of like, all right, all right,
Yeah.
this wasn't a fluke. I mean, not that she probably thought it was a fluke, but
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if this girl can last 3 rounds, I can beat her again.
Yeah.
But then
Exactly.
there's a video of
Exactly.
her confronting Dana White, Cyborg,
Yep.
saying, "Why are you lying to me?"
Good impression.
Yeah.
There's some kind of contract dispute or like. See,
Why you say I don't want rematch? You keep saying I don't want rematch.
Yeah. So she confronted.
That's my
Dana
best
White.
cyborg impression.
But
Pretty
that's,
good.
that's but Dana White does not like.
Ranks right up there with my CB Gold impression.
Right.
Dana White does not like being confronted in public on video.
Right.
So while he might be smiling on the outside, he's probably just
Well,
like,
and that's the thing. I mean, you may have scored
raging.
some publicity points, but that isn't going to help you in your ultimate negotiations.
Right.
You know, because he's going to take that now into consideration. Okay, what do we do with her now?
not only
She's
that,
going
but
and pulling this stunt. I mean, look
yeah.
what already happened with, if they can, put out Connor ostensibly, I mean, then no, anybody's expendable.
well, also, I think if she goes to Bellator, because she's been tweeting out about Bellator, she might not beat Julia Budd. Like Julia
Maybe
Budd-
not. Maybe not. I mean, it's an interesting fight.
Well, Cyborg is a bully, and she likes to bully people, and not in a bad way. It's just like
Right.
she just likes to bully.
That's
It's her
her
you.
style, yeah. She just
And-
marches forward. I'm gonna
Right,
punch you
and
as hard as I
exactly,
fucking can.
exactly.
Like,
And
there's nothing you
technically,
can
she
do.
was doing a lot of things that maybe were not great, and it got exposed by Nunez. But because she could overwhelm everybody, she was getting away with it.
Right.
And now, she's getting up there in age. Some of the stuff she probably was taking in the past caught up to her a little bit. And it's once that invincibility's gone.
Yep.
That type of style. It's like some of these guys that I think could do really well are the guys that are technically sound, something like GSP.
GSP, yeah.
Where like everything he does is technically sound.
Max.
So him at 30, 35, 40 is not going to be that much difference. Max Holloway. But then you get people like the Anderson Silva, Ben Askren, MVP, some of these guys that are doing things way not technically wrong because it's working for them. Obviously, it's not the greatest of all
But
time.
like athletic
what you wanna coach people to
things
do.
versus technique things.
Their
Like when you
hands-
rely on athleticism,
Right,
that
absolutely.
it goes.
An instinct.
It goes away.
Your
yeah.
hands are down, your chin's out, and things that you can get away with back in the day, you can't get away with because your speed's gone a little bit.
Right.
It's just a little
right.
bit.
Just enough.
And then all of a sudden you're getting caught by Chris Weidman, or you're getting caught by Diego Nunez, or Diego Lima, or some of the other guys who are catching you, and then you can't fall back on your technique because your technique was never really there to begin with. It was there for you.
Right, exactly.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's hard, and then you can't teach. What are you going to do? Teach a 35-year-old guy, a 37-year-old guy how to keep his hands up now? Is that what's going to happen? So we'll see.
I mean, it could, but it just takes a shift in perspective for them. Like for me, like now I know. Oh shit, keep your fucking hands up. Like if you don't keep your hand, what you think you're keeping your hands up. Like no, make sure you can see your hands in your next to your eyes, and then work from there. It's just a little it's all mental stuff.
But somebody like
It's
Tito
all mental
Ortiz, he had some very good fundamentals. Same with Randy Couture. They weren't relying on superb athletic instinct that Anderson Silva was relying. And I'm not insulting Anderson Silva. I'm praise to whatever works for you, and obviously it works.
Yeah.
It just seems like eventually this style of fighting may catch up to you at a certain point.
Yeah.
When your hands are down, your chin's up, and you're getting away with all this shit.
Well, Holloway's hands are away from his face. Will it catch up with him? Is that what you're saying?
It's not as crazy as these other guys that are doing. I mean, Anderson Silva's hands were he was putting his hands behind his back.
Well, yeah, that was was just him showboating. Though.
Okay, but but it was the reason
But
why
that's what made him him. That's
Right.
all of that goes into the style because you never know what the
Right.
fuck he's gonna do.
And the
Right.
reason-
He's trying to bait you so he can
he's trying to
counter
bait you
it.
so he
Yeah.
can just throw his.
But the
foot
reason,
out.
Exactly.
and the reason your hands are down is because the guy can't see them. Okay, your hands are in front of your face. The guy can see where your hands are. Hands are below. The guy doesn't know where the fuck you're gonna hit him from.
Right.
So it's but because your reflexes are so good, you can get away with that.
You have
shit.
to have that kind of reflex skill, yeah.
So when
And-
your reflex goes, if you have your hands,
Yeah,
down
you're just
here,
gonna get tagged
it's
up.
gonna be like.
Yeah.
And eventually that it seems to catch up people at 37, 38.
See, that's why I could never be a fighter. My reflexes are to be like, hey, look at that coming at me.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you have guys. But then you have guys that just do everything fundamentally correct. A guy like Frankie Edgar, almost.
Yeah.
Frankie Edgar, why he's still able to fight now. Versus BJ Penn was probably a guy that did his instincts were just outstanding, versus what other things. Okay, so Jeff Neal versus Nico Price, that was a fun fight.
I didn't watch it.
Jeff Neal's a real deal, dude. He's the real deal. I had Nico
Real
winning
deal
that
Jeff
fight
Neal?
too.
He could have won that fight.
He could have. He got a little bit too crazy there.
OAM lost again. That guy Hakeem Dawadi, this guy from I was in Calgary, and they were all talking about how great this guy was, and he fought this guy Yoshinaro Hori, and it was one of those fights where the ref could have stopped it in the last minute and a half, but if he would have stopped it, everybody would have been like, early stoppage.
Right.
But I'm like, I hope this fucking ref stops this. And then within 3 seconds, and then at the end of the minute, he hit him with a head kick that put the guy so out that everyone's like, I just saw somebody get CTE live on my television. And that was the it's like, fuck. That's the hard part about being a ref. Because it would have been an early stoppage had he stopped it. But it was obvious to anybody who watches fights what was going to happen in the next minute.
Well, sometimes you got to let it happen. I mean, like when a guy goes down and he jumps on top of him, you know he's about 3 or 4 strikes away from the fight being over, and that's what's probably going to happen. But you got to let it happen in the event that the guy manages to grab your leg, pull you down, and defend himself.
I know.
So you got to go through the process, and that is part of good refereeing, is seeing it but saying, nope, I got to let this play all the way out.
Yeah.
You know, because the early stoppage is the thing that then people get, he could have defended himself. He wasn't all the way, and so you got to let it play out. You got to let them take the beating. They went in there. They know what they signed up for, and it's going to roll that way
But
it
does seem like boxing is way more. People say what's more dangerous, boxing or MMA? Like boxing by 1,000, because even though the pads are bigger, you got 10 to 12 rounds. You have 3 times to get up, or 4 if there's
that's the other. Yeah,
10
letting
seconds.
a guy just recover. Like, okay, you're all right.
Well, you were unconscious and now you're not. All right,
Okay, great.
fight again.
Fight again. Yeah.
Dude just died too, like last week.
This is what I don't understand. So they have all this concussion protocol in the NFL and concussion protocol from athletic commissions for fighting. Do you not fucking think that that's a concussion? You get a 90-day suspension if you get knocked out. Boxing, you get knocked down and you fight 10 seconds later.
Yeah.
Dude, the craziest
What is happening?
I don't know.
It's archaic rules.
Yeah, but look
need to be updated.
Yeah, but
because it is incredibly dangerous
because the
for
sport
fighter.
is standing up and punching each other.
Right.
It's not fighting. It's
But on
stand up and punch each other.
But on the other hand, though, play devil's advocate, like Tyson Fury in that 12th round just got up like the Undertaker. I mean, he was out, and all of a sudden just rose up.
Right. Which is that's what I'm saying. Everybody
pretty funny.
gets up after they get knocked out. That's what happens.
Exactly.
You get knocked out and you get up. It doesn't mean you didn't get knocked out.
Right.
So to have 3 10-second counts or standing 8 counts or whatever it is, if that was the end of the fight, you get a 90-day suspension. But because it's the first round, take 10 seconds and then fight again. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
But
that's crazy.
But my initial point was that, you're right, but my initial point was that in boxing, if a guy's obviously not going to win, they stop it.
Yeah.
In the 6th round, if a guy,
Connor, perfect example. He was sitting on the he was still standing. He was taking some damage, but he wasn't gonna win the fight.
Sometimes I wish in MMA they did that too. In a case like this, it was
but
obvious.
you never know they're not gonna win.
I know that's the problem, because there's so many ways to win.
Who was the fighter who got kicked in the liver and backed up and was grabbing his liver, and the guy rushed in and he fucking cracked him, knocked him out.
Pete Spratt.
Was it Pete Spratt?
Yeah, against I forgot. Yeah, it was Pete Spratt against somebody.
Some dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
So same thing, and he was legitimately hurt. That was an instinct. He hit him, and right when he saw he was knocked out, went right back to being crumpled over, holding his ribs.
Or that guy Craig,
You know?
guy from England who was it was 10-8, 10-8, 10-8, and then come with a triangle with 1 second left. That guy from
Paul Craig.
Paul Craig.
Paul Craig.
That was insane.
Yeah, he got another fight coming up too.
I know.
It's tough. I don't know if
that guy. I don't know. You got. I don't know. There might be too many Hail Marys in that guy's career. So let's talk about the fight this week. Because first of all, did you see Colby Covington's press conference? His open workout.
No.
You want to see? Okay, so I'm going to show you guys Colby Covington's open workout. All right. So he shows up.
Wearing sunglasses and a Trump
And
hat.
everybody thinks that he's going to have an open workout.
Oh, no.
He has a belt, which I'm not even sure that's not a UFC belt, right? Or that's his belt.
Is that the interim belt, right?
So he comes, and they all want him to do workouts. So he stretches out. He comes, right? Everyone's waiting, right? So
Is this in the lobby at T-Mobile?
So he stretches out a little bit.
Where is this?
Then
Oh no, it's Newark, right?
Newark, yeah. And he needs one last good workout, is what he says. He says the energy's not right. And then he brings out 4 girls.
Yep.
He goes, where are you from?
Just 4 girls that were
Here, put
in the
audio
crowd,
up to
or
the mic.
Yeah, it brings out 4 girls from Colombia.
Okay, I'm
Where
with
you
this so
from?
far.
Yeah, he comes, and then he leaves with the girls. Like doesn't
That's
even,
it.
Yeah, that's it.
Didn't even work out.
Women
No.
weaken legs. Women weaken legs.
That was his open workout.
That's hilarious, dude.
So his open workout was a speech followed by, I'm going to go bang these 4 chicks now.
Yeah.
God bless him. Listen, let's be honest. 4 girls, that's a workout.
That's what he said.
That's a
He goes,
workout.
I need to get my last workout with
My
the girl.
one last workout in. That's awesome.
I mean,
Good on you, Colby. Look, the fact that he's stuck to it, like, it's been, what, a year and change since he had the interim title?
Yeah.
A year? And has just stuck to the game. Just stuck to it. I respect it. I like you, Colby.
Listen. And after Connor, this kind of showboating is kind of where we're at now. I mean, if he wants to build his rep, I mean, we just played it on our show.
Yeah.
You
Right,
know?
yeah.
You want to build your rep? You want people talking about you? Do some crazy shit.
Exactly.
So that's what he did. I mean, I listen, and he did something that he likes to do. He's like, what would I want to have 4
do I
hot
wanna
Colombian
do?
women come out here, and then I'm going to take off with them for a final private workout. God bless you. Listen, that's genius.
What we
Trump's
should
2020.
Exactly. Listen, you may have talked me into it. Now maybe I'm a Trumper. Who knows?
Now, and I think he's the porn stars, because I know he does a lot with like the porn stars out there. Like they're all in the videos.
Oh, yeah.
They're
That'd be
Right,
funny
yeah.
though if like his fans were like, "Send them back, send them back." He's like, "What? No, they're here. They're on a guest pass.
Totally
They're on
backfired.
a hot girl visa, the
Yep.
same one Melania got.
That should
Okay,
be
it's
a
totally
thing.
cool. These are the ones we want.
Only the hot ones.
That's only the hot ones."
How funny is Colby Covington?
I love him, dude. I want him to win so bad. But the crazy thing is, he's a favorite against Robbie Lawler. So
Yeah.
if you're a betting man, I think betting on Robbie would be a smart thing to do.
I'm going to bet on
If
Robbie.
you're a
Me
betting
too.
man, you bet on who you think's gonna win.
Well, the UFC wants Robbie to win.
Yeah.
I feel like anybody that they don't like, they put up against Robbie Lawler. Like they didn't want to. Askren came in. You could tell Dana didn't
See,
like Askren.
no, here's the
Boom.
thing. Let's say same exact situation happens. Does Herb Dean stop it if it's Colby rather than Ben Askren? When he's getting the shit kicked out of him and his face pummeled in. After he got thrown on his head. Well, first of all, I don't think Colby lasts being thrown on his head like Ben Askren did.
Yeah,
But
Ben's got a big head.
I think if that wasn't Ben, it would have been stopped.
I don't know. I mean, if it was stopped, Ben didn't know where he was. So
Yeah.
Ben would have been like, "What the hell?" I even asked him. I'm like,
Exactly.
Ben, were you out?" He's like, "I don't know." Like,
Well, yeah.
That
If you
means you're
don't know
out.
you
If
were
don't
out,
know
you were fucking out, dude.
Amen.
Like Ben Askren's just such an animal, like that his body took over and went.
I mean,
no,
it really
we're not
took-
unconscious right now. We're gonna do this.
it really took a knee by Masvidal to take him out.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. A huge knee.
Yeah.
Like that's a
Huge.
knee that would kill any of
Huge.
us.
Yep.
That's
Like
a
we'd be in the
huge-
fucking hospital for a week from that.
What's crazy
Yeah.
is that they
You know?
designed it and it was a perfect game plan.
Oh,
I've
perfect.
never seen a more perfect game plan in my life than that thing.
That the only comparable one was Conor and Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
Conor Jose Aldo. It's the same. Like identical. Backstage has the same like little thing a minute before he went out to the fight, and does it.
It's crazy.
We get that tape. Masvidal the night before practicing that flying knee off the bell, like, and he goes out and does it. Fucking.
I was there when that happened.
So
I was
awesome.
no, I was there for the first one with the Robbie Lawler fight, and I was almost crying when like
Yeah.
I was like, "This is the worst." Like you got to say, Ben Askren has had very exciting UFC fights
Oh,
for a
yeah.
guy that everyone said was the most boring guy in the world.
But fights he's had have been amazing.
But people still don't know how good he is compared, like because both these fights were such questions. Like
And will they ever? I mean, that's the thing.
they're
I
having
think,
question.
Maya next. They're saying Damian Maya.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think
yeah.
that's another. Well, I mean, wrestling nullifies jujitsu.
Wrestling versus
I
jiu-jitsu,
know,
man.
I mean,
it's the
that's
classic
what I'm
battle.
thinking.
But then you think that
Exactly.
Maya has better striking than him, right? So then,
Yes,
so does Maya win?
unquestionably. And that's the thing. Does Maya look at the tape and be like, "Well, I'm not going to take this guy down. I'm going to kick him and punch him. That's what I'm going to do."
But even taking him down, I don't think Maya would want to take him down. Maya would,
right.
Yeah, Maya. I mean,
but he's not
Because
going to.
wrestling is the
there's
only
enough
thing that
confidence.
neutralizes jujitsu.
But he's not going to pull guard against him though.
kind of. And Ben is he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu too, right?
But not like a Damian Maya black belt.
Nobody's Damian Maya black belt, but
But he's not going to pull guard against.
he's not a
Askren.
chump.
You think
yeah,
you think
no,
he'll pull guard?
Fucking no.
No.
Well, who do we have for the fight? Colby versus
All right.
Robbie. Who are you picking?
Colby.
Colby?
I just think.
Against my better judgment, I'm picking Colby.
I think
I
Colby.
really want
Colby's
Robbie.
younger, has never been rocked, take less damage, and I just think he wants it
He's
more.
also never been hit by Robbie Lawler.
I mean,
yeah, but Lawler, I mean,
Lawler's been around a long time.
and he's proven to be inconsistent here in his later
But-
fights. I mean, it's not like the guy, what was it, Rockhold?
Yeah.
When he beat Rockhold, you were like,
Who?
no one's beating this guy.
Who?
Was it Lawler that beat Rockhold?
In Strikeforce?
Who was it?
No. Lawler.
What was Lawler's big win for the? Because didn't he hold the belt for like a
He was
minute?
the Strikeforce champ.
no, he beat Rory McDonald
Was that it?
a couple
No,
times.
that was
Okay.
in the UFC.
Oh, we talking about in the UFC?
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat Rory McDonald. And then
I mean, he beat so many
He beat
fucking
Well, I was
Burger.
gonna say, right. But back then, he looked like a
Yeah.
world beater.
Bobby Volker.
But lately,
Well,
he's
the guy
looked,
Tyron Woodley knocked him out in one round.
he's
That
looked
was
pretty.
the-
He's looked
right.
pretty inconsistent, very beatable in his last several fights. And so you're right. And Colby being younger and hungrier and not as damaged as
Right.
Lawler, which cumulative damage I think is what is going to be the big deciding factor here.
What I do worry is that he pissed him off because Colby accused him of taking steroids, Robbie Lawler of taking roids. He said, look at him 10 years ago and look at him now. It makes a valid argument. I mean, he's
But he's had 10 years to hit the gym. I mean,
Yeah, but you don't all of a sudden get huge at 39 versus 32.
Well, and again, this comes back to cumulative damage. I mean, a lot of times, maybe he's not wrong about that. I mean, these guys they
Yeah.
got to repair all that damage, and a lot of
Right.
times, steroids is the best way to do it. I'm not saying that that's what happened, but I mean,
But how is he getting around it?
exactly. I mean, he makes a point. I mean, so
And he said, you turn your back on American Top Team. He really is trying to get under his
Yeah.
skin. But look, I talked to Colby Covington 5 years ago when no one knew who he was.
Yeah.
And he said back then he was beating Robbie in practice. He said,
I mean, he says he beat everybody in practice.
but he wasn't saying it back then, though.
we're talking about practice.
But this was a different Colby.
We're talking about
This is a different
practice.
Colby. Colby was not saying anything. This was not the Colby Covington bringing
Right,
out
right,
chicks
right,
and Trump supporter.
right.
This is a humble, sweet guy that was
Yeah.
like, I get the best of him.
I'm
But,
going with Colby too.
All right.
Clay Guida versus Jim Miller.
I got Jim Miller all the way. Jim Miller, 100%. And I love this
Just
fight.
never ceases to amaze. Every time you say the name Clay Guida, I'm like, what year is this, man? Like I don't know.
Gonna air on the MySpace.
And
page.
listen, exactly. Listen, I respect him for still putting up a hell of a fight, but in my mind, I'm like, dude, stop fighting.
He didn't look that good against BJ Penn
He
either.
didn't, and there were two.
Yeah,
they're
and
both.
BJ
They're
Penn
both
is
guys that
fucking
should have been fighting. Like it
crypt
should have been.
keeper.
It should have been stopped when they were announcing the names. Someone should have been like, the fight's over. It's a draw.
We've seen too much violence.
Exactly. It's a draw. They both aged out on their way to the ring. So, I mean,
Well, you know what's going to happen?
It should be on
Eventually,
the commission, though. At this point, it should be on the commission. Like for BJ,
Yes.
especially, like the commission needs to step
Well, he's
because
fighting-
the UFC's not.
no,
gonna
they just
step
signed
in.
him to fight Nick Lentz.
That's what I'm saying.
There should
Nick
be-
Lentz
yeah.
is gonna fucking murder him.
there should be no senior tour
He's gonna murder him.
in MMA.
Eventually, when Clay gets slapped by Jason Guida, he may just not get knocked out.
Right.
Before the fight, he slaps him in the face.
All right, let's get ready.
I
Lights out.
heard that BJ was messaging Nick Lentz's wife on Instagram,
Yeah.
saying I want to tell your husband to fight me, all this stuff. I'm like, that's kind of weird,
Yeah, it's
dude.
like- nasty stuff.
BJ's
So
in a
strange.
weird spot. I don't want to speak ill of him or criticize him for anything, but there's something going on with BJ upstairs, and I don't.
He's taking
I
a lot of
don't
punishment.
Like it.
He's taking a lot of pain.
Yeah.
He drinks a lot.
He drinks
I mean,
a lot. He just had that bar fight. He's
Yeah.
been
It's
having
not good.
domestic problems. They've been, it's been the last
All the
6
signs.
months.
the problem is
Have been here's baby Junior Seau is what we should
Well, the
start
problem is
fucking
that-
You know
calling
what?
him,
You were
dude.
saying that, and I'm like, this sounds
Yes.
like the CTE
BJ, dude.
thing
BJ.
that we
Baby
right.
Junior. Baby Junior Seau is going to come out.
And that may be what we're seeing because that type of behavior you're describing it. I'm like, this sounds like somebody whose head hurts all the time.
Yeah.
well, the problem is that
This is someone who's in tremendous head pain all the time. They're trying to drink it away, trying to suffocate it, do everything, and it's angering them. It keeps them
or
on
maybe
edge all
not
the
even
time.
that. Yeah, it could just be that. It might not necessarily be you're angry, but that mood. You get thrown into a mood sometimes, and you just can't get out of it.
Well, the problem
You
is that
cannot
Hawaii,
do
he's a
anything.
legend. So no matter what happens in Hawaii, he's never gonna get in trouble.
Right.
Unless it's something insane.
Right.
They're all gonna. He's BJ Penn. You land. It's like BJ Penn Airport. It's like BJ Penn is the god of Hawaii. So he's what? So he's getting treated
But that's why I'm saying it has to be on the commission because the UFC is not going to say no, BJ, you can't fight. No,
Yeah.
the UFC owes him at everything, right? BJ helped build the UFC.
Right.
If he still wants to fight, that obviously is his right, but like, and that's where I'm conflicted as a red-blooded American. I'm like, look, man, do whatever the fuck you want to do.
No, it's also
the
like
government shouldn't be able to step in, but in this case, I feel like the government should step in and not give him a license.
I told you they should have fighting intervention where the guy walks in, and then all of a sudden the lights come on.
He thinks he's going to practice.
Yeah, and it's no.
Everybody's sitting on the mats.
In the octagon. He goes in the octagon, and then the lights come on, and it's everyone, the family and the teacher, and everyone. Hey, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's too many.
Hilarious.
That's what they should have.
I mean, it's a joke, but like, sadly, it should be a thing.
Gerald Mershart is taking on Trevin Giles. I like Mershart. He's been on my show.
He's really good.
Nice guy.
Yeah, good guy.
I thought he got fucked in his last
wrestler.
fight. Yeah. Also, Scott Holtzman, another good fighter.
Scotty.
Hot sauce.
Scotty Holtzman.
Taking on Dong Hyun Ma.
Just pull the jersey over his head, Scott. Go to town.
I don't know who Dong Hyun Ma is.
Korean.
Thank you. Mickey Gall.
Yes.
Nice.
Mickey Gall's fighting.
Fucking Gall. Let's go.
He's fighting Salim Tahari. Mickey Gall, I think, definitely got humbled in his last fight by Diego Sanchez.
For sure.
Probably lost a lot of friends, a lot
Also
of entourage.
got Rabdo. So
What?
I said he also got Rabdo
What's that?
before that fight.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was like liver or kidney.
Oh, all kinds of problems. And then he also bit
Don't
Diego.
get Rabdo again.
He also bit him. But I want Mickey to make a comeback because this guy's had such a crazy career because they just brought him in to fight CM Punk.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, he's the best fight ever. He was like 2-0.
MMA debut. His debut, or no, not his debut.
Professional?
No, his professional debut was Mike Jackson.
Oh,
he
you
fought Mike Jackson. Mickey Gall.
Oh, okay.
CM Punk was his second professional fight.
Oh.
Yeah, but all of a
And then
sudden
he fucking fought Sage, and then he fought, it was just thrown like, oh, here, amateur, you're brown belt jiu-jitsu, now you're in the UFC.
it's crazy.
Have fun.
Crazy.
Fight legends. Have fun.
So now he's fighting a guy who's 10-3, Salim Tari. I don't know who this guy is, but should be fun.
I got Mickey.
Antonio
I don't
Shevchenko.
think it win again. I like Mickey Gall.
Honestly, I think Mickey, I don't know how he'll feel about this. I think Mickey is the next coming of Damian Maia.
Really?
Yes. Just got his black belt. Dude, he just got his black belt. Look how he fights. Look how
but Damian
every fight
Maia-
that he's won.
Didn't
Every fight
Maia
that
win
he's
the
won.
Abu Dhabi or something?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter when it comes to MMA. All you got to know is how to get to that back and choke the fuck out of somebody. And Mickey Gall does that like
And he's
champion.
long, too.
And he's long.
So he can
Yeah,
really,
it's the
once
same
those
thing.
legs get around you.
It's the same
But
thing.
isn't
He has
Damian
that
Maia
long, weird-
isn't he like an elite grappler?
He is, but Mickey Gall is no slouch on the ground.
No slouch,
He's
but
fucking-
it seems like
There's
a
also a 40-year age difference between Mickey Gall and Damian Maia, right? There's a lot of experience to be gained for Mickey.
That's what I'm saying.
And damage.
Mickey
Yep.
Gall is going to start. He's going to be the next backpack, I think.
That would be cool. Good for him.
I hope.
Lucy Pudilova. I don't know who that is. She's fighting Shevchenko. That's the girl that Roxanne beat, right? The other
Antonia
sister.
Shevchenko.
Yeah.
This is the other Shevchenko.
Yeah.
Are they
Okay.
real sisters?
Yes.
They are?
Yeah.
They don't look anything
They don't
alike.
like anything else.
I was going to say, because when I originally saw Shevchenko, like her last fight, I thought it was good. I was like, wait a minute, what is she doing so low on the card? I don't understand that. I tuned in and I'm like, oh, this is just some other woman also named Shevchenko.
No, she's
I didn't realize they were sisters.
Sisters.
I just thought that they were from the same region and that was a popular, like Johnson or Wilson
Shevchenko
or
cousins.
Smith or something, you know what I mean? I just figured it was like, oh, another Shevchenko, you know? I was like, I just thought we were going to start seeing a wave of Shevchenkos.
You've never seen their open workouts? Because they usually fight. They fight on the same card every once in a while, and they do open workouts together. And it's like these choreographed, synchronized swimming, but kicks and punches. So
yeah.
everything's together, just. It's pretty fucking.
Is that how it is?
I'm flapping my arms.
I was going to say that.
And then my man Matt Schnell is fighting. Matt Danger.
Matt Schnell.
Great fighter from New Orleans. He was on that reality show on MTV called I don't know what it was called, about fighters from New Orleans. He's fighting Jordan Espinosa. And then Lauren Murphy, who I love. This girl, Lauren Murphy, is from Alaska, was a 27-year-old, single mom, heroin addict.
Oy.
Got her kids taken away, just an awful life, walked into a gym, and then 6 years later was ranked number 2 in the world.
Yeah.
And is the sweetest, coolest girl you'll meet. Got her kid back. Great story, great person. So Laura Murphy, big fan of hers. She's fighting Mara Romero Barella. I don't know who that is, but I'm definitely rooting for her.
That's good. Listen,
Yeah,
with that kind of a
Gilmore
backstory,
Murphy.
she's
I really
easy to
like
root
Gilmore
for.
Murphy.
So Colby Covington said he tweeted at Ben Askren because he needed a friend. With a needed a friend. He's such a dick.
I mean, he might have a career in stand-up comedy after fighting.
So now they're having bare knuckle boxing with headbutts.
Oh my God.
Wait, is this the same organization?
Can we just have
KFC?
fucking street fighting?
That's
Can
what I was
be
gonna just start a street
That's
fight
what it'll
league.
be called.
Street
fucking
fight.
street fighting.
Yep.
You wear shoes. It's on pavement. No rules. There's a fence on one side, a gate on the other side, and a trash can.
Trash can every
Yeah,
time. The
always a
dumpster.
trash
Gotta have a
can.
dumpster.
And Seth,
And there you go.
Seth Blazinski's in this.
And you have to have,
Yeah, it's
you have to have some girls screaming and crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, towards the end of the fight, the cops show up.
Yes.
So
It's
he's
all in an
The
arena.
ref is a cop.
The ref is a cop. Yeah.
Yes.
The ref is a cop. So
Who
if you get the
decide,
shit kicked
yeah,
out of you-
and they come, and they're not in the ring at any point. They're not in this. They
No,
come
they're just
flying
watching
in at
from,
the
like,
end.
15 feet
They
away.
they just come flying in at the end. That's it.
somebody gets knocked out. Or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
So this is it's called
And then they abuse everybody.
so it's called Lathway. The thing's called Lethway. Lethwei.
Oh, that's a, yeah.
also known as
that's kickboxing.
Burmese bare knuckle boxing.
It's kickboxing.
It's similar
with
to Muay
headbutts.
Thai, but they don't use gloves. Sticking only to hand wraps and headbutts are allowed. It's on Fight Pass this week.
It's Muay Thai with headbutts.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
bare knuckle boxing. So
It's
you
known
can
as-
throw knees, elbows, and headbutts.
Knees, elbows.
Lateway is fucking legit.
It sounds fucking violent as
It's
shit.
legit.
But it's almost convinced me to get Fight Pass. Can I tell you something? I'm canceling ESPN Plus.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Come on.
It's fucking terrible. It's terrible that they hijacked all the UFCs. It's
They
not worth the-
hijacked it. They didn't sell them to
They
them?
own them.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you got to get their stupid ESPN Plus app, which is terrible. Its functionality is terrible. Its forward and back is terrible. Its replayability is terrible. Everything about it, their original content generally sucks. I'm like, this is not worth it. Totally not worth it.
So then how
I
are you
hate
gonna watch
that the UFC
how you gonna watch the
got
fights
driven
then?
to it.
How are you gonna watch the fights?
Online afterwards, which is how I watch most of them
You
anyway.
can't
'cause I
watch them
almost-
through Fight Pass
I
anymore?
almost
No.
always
At
all?
You have to have ESPN Plus, and I almost always end up watching them on some kind of
I mean, you can still
dark
stream them.
web, shadowy shit the next day anyway, because I usually have a show at the same time anyway, so I never get to see this shit live. So it's like, fuck it, what am I paying
why
for?
pay for it? Right.
Yeah, Matthew Berry's fantasy football show is, I hate to say it, it's garbage. He's smart. He knows what he's doing, but the show
show is just
itself
bad,
is
What's that?
stupid as fuck.
What show is this?
Matthew Berry's fantasy football show.
Oh.
And so, like, I'm like, all the content they put on this, the detail, like, here you're gonna watch him, see how he dribbles to the. Who gives a
I know, but it's
flying
$5 a
fuck?
month, and it's all the UFC stuff.
Well, see, that's
And
what
it's
it is.
not
Okay,
all
so
the UFC stuff. It's like one UFC thing,
No,
and then
it's
most
not.
of it's pay per view. I don't know. I think it's garbage. I hate
well,
it.
this card is totally free on ESPN.
If it's on ESPN, but
But
you have
I
to have the
think
ESPN Plus,
is the
right?
undercard, yeah.
Yeah, and that just annoys the piss out of
All right,
me.
so
I fucking hate it.
Oh well, that's your opinion, and that's you're entitled to that.
And I'm sharing it. Right. I'm just sharing it because I'd be interested to know if other people think that ESPN Plus app sucks. On your TV, on your phone, doesn't matter.
let them
It's
know
garbage.
at.
I hear you, but if they give me a job, I'm in. All right, so
Oh, I agree. If they reach me tomorrow and be like, "We want you to be a spokesperson," well, you're the greatest app there is. Fuck Fox Sports One. You guys are number one. I'm so happy to be part
I'm a
of the
changed
ESPN
man.
family.
I'm a changed man. I've
mean, like-
grown. I've learned. I've
Yeah,
I've
now let's
gathered
talk
new
about your
information.
app, 'cause-
ESPN Plus is the best.
Yeah.
So Clay Guida says retirement is further away than ever in his career.
Than ever?
Yeah.
No, that's. I mean, first of all, that's just
He
physically
says-
impossible.
He says he's in better shape now than he was when he was 21. He's more focused. He says yes, so that's what he says.
I'm gonna say, ask Dana White how far away it is.
But
He's the guy that actually knows how far away.
But
it
him
is.
and Chad Mendez have a company called Fins and Feathers, where it's a hunting company and fishing,
Yes.
where you can go and hang out with them.
Yes.
For the weekend.
For like $3,000
To hang out with Clay
for a
Guida
weekend of
and Chad
hunting
Mendez
and
hunt
fishing.
with them.
I
Hey,
mean,
listen-
I would do it if it wasn't so fucking expensive.
You're not a hunter, are you?
Yeah.
What do you hunt?
Nothing yet.
Same here, dude.
Puss.
We're California
Again, I was
hunters.
gonna say, okay, if I'm gonna pay $3,000 to go on a hunting trip, it's not gonna be with Clay Guida, and so it's gonna be with those 4 Brazilian chicks that Kobe Covington had that he paid $3,000 for. I want that trip.
By the way, have you heard of Sex Island? Have you heard of this?
No.
Sex Island? I've
Yeah.
heard of Love Island.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now there's a new thing called Sex Island.
Okay, so is this the porn version?
It's basically like I think it's like Firefest all over again.
Oh.
But
It's an actual like.
Is this
like a
Jeffrey
festival?
Epstein's island?
no, it's a thing where you could actually like Sex Island release a trailer for its
Yes.
Nevada vacation.
Is
right?
it just
Yes,
me?
it is.
Every picture of that guy, he looks like a pedophile.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Jeffrey
Okay.
Epstein. Every picture
know
he
what
has
I love
he has
about
this
that,
look on
though?
his face. It's like,
All right, so Sex Island, right? This is.
Oh, okay.
this is
Let's
Sex
enjoy
Island.
this. Let's enjoy some Sex Island.
Sex
Get
Island,
it up
Las
to the
Vegas?
microphone, Make sure the whole.
It's in Las Vegas.
Let's share this with.
It's like Westworld.
So
but
it's
for
not an island.
It's
To
Westworld.
be clear.
This is what the ad they put up.
It's Westworld with real people.
So like I guess
This man is clearly on drugs.
you guys on drugs.
Right. So I already qualify.
The guy shows up on an island with like 10 girls on like motorcycles wearing bikinis.
It has the Inception soundtrack.
Is that what it is?
Sounds
Yes,
like it's
pretty much.
More or
It's
less.
basically mimicking it. Yes.
And just women everywhere.
Forcing you to have sex
yeah, just
and drink.
raping you.
This is like they say this is the real thing. It takes place in Nevada this summer for like
Yeah, I'm sure it does. If you want to pay $5,000 and
what
go,
it is.
I just
it's
happened to have
$5,000.
gotten
Yeah.
a check for $5,000.
I'm
I'm
sorry,
gonna
bro.
tell
like,
Summer I have a gig. You're gonna be like, babe, I got a gig. I gotta go to Vegas.
Where's it at, Greg?
you go to Vegas and then a helicopter
Sex
To
a
Vegas.
helicopter picks you up
Helicopter
and
picks you
takes
up,
you to Sex
takes you to
Island.
Sex Island.
See, I just want to do all the stuff. I don't even care about the sex. I just want to like go and like they probably have so
Sexual
much cool
helicopter
shit to
tour.
do. Sexual helicopter tour. It's in the middle of the fucking desert,
Private
dude.
location that no one knows about.
Sex
Listen,
Island
any
in the
helicopter
middle of the
tour can be a
desert.
sexual helicopter
And then,
tour
like,
with the right companions.
like
Right?
7 girls in like bikinis just take you and have sex
and
with
then they bathe you.
I feel like a bunch of rich
pool.
middle-aged dudes are gonna show up to this, like my dad. It's
100
like something
girls.
my dad would go to.
100
Totally
girls.
grabbing his cock in that one.
100
50
girls, 50
tickets.
tickets.
Oh, so it's like a one-time event.
Yeah.
So there's 100 girls there. They have spots for 50 guys.
How much are the tickets?
Drug friendly.
All drug friendly,
Free alcohol.
free alcohol. Dude, there's gonna be assaults happening.
All meals included. Well, that's good.
That's good. So easy to eat on Coke. We're gonna have
Right.
so many leftover
Right.
meals.
Right? Oh, I just did all
sexual-
this fucking Molly. Now I want food.
Sexual surprises.
Actually, sometimes on the tail end of
true.
Molly,
Yeah.
when you're starting to
I
kind of
think on
wind
the tail
down,
end of everything, you're just
not
fucking,
Coke, but at the tail end, the next
not
morning.
for me.
ATVs and horse riding.
I can always
Which
eat.
girl is the horse? Oh, okay.
This looks-
ATVs and horse riding.
it looks exactly like the Fire Festival trailer,
Right?
like to a T. It's like
It's
the same
gonna be
shit.
the same fucking guy. Holographic
I was
concert.
gonna say, wait a minute, is
Dude,
what's
what
his
if it's
name?
the
Which was
same guy?
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule. Is Ja Rule gonna be there?
And then it says, yeah, this is Sex Island. There's a casino somehow there.
And then they go, and then the end, no AC. So enjoy the stink.
Don't wait until you're dead to visit heaven. Visit heaven on earth. Sex Island.
Get all the STDs you want.
I don't know. It might be worth it.
Hard pass.
Really?
Hard pass.
So that's Sex Island. Yeah.
Why are all the festivals in the hottest places on planet Earth?
August
They have to
2nd.
go somewhere
August
desolate where
2nd.
there's-
in
August 2nd to
Vegas.
5th. It's this weekend.
In Vegas. August in Vegas. Let's have a festival August in Vegas.
Yeah,
That
no
sounds
one-
fucking
there's not-
smart.
No one's gonna overheat.
Yeah.
The cops
Nobody.
are threatening to
You're
shut
gonna
it
be doing
down.
a bunch of drugs, having a bunch of it'll
You
be
better. I just hope they have fucking medics that aren't on
free
drugs.
alcohol and drug friendly.
Tickets are $6,000 a piece. Unless you bang the most girls.
Do they take PayPal?
Tickets are at $6,000. Organize a promise to refund money of one guest who wins the competition during the event to have sex with the most women during 4 days. You get your money back.
Oh my god.
How are they gonna get proof for that? How do they have
There's
proof?
no way you don't come back with herpes.
Guests will
No
take
way.
it from LAX,
Both
Las
guys.
Vegas, private helicopter, enjoy the company of 100 beautiful women. All of our girls tested and free of any sexual diseases. We have a strict
Yeah, they are.
But are we testing?
we have
They
a-
are.
Yeah, by the end of the
Are they
weekend,
testing all the fucking guys that go in there after some dude blows in her?
We have a strict
and then
condom
you
po-
fucking go in there and pick up whatever.
No, they have a strict
fucking
condom
Joe
policy.
had.
At any moment, you can switch girls with the other 50 guests.
So are they prostitutes?
They also have a 5-star
Yes.
Yelp review.
Clearly.
From a 16-year-old boy.
Let's send CB Gold as our MMA Roasted correspondent.
No
do a
way.
live report.
If we're sending any correspondent, we're sending you.
Seriously.
You freak.
I mean, yeah, that's our second
The
choice.
deviant.
Now,
Yes.
if you were single, would you go to Sex Island?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
You pay $6,000?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Why not?
Why?
Why wait to die to go to heaven? You stole the tagline. Go to heaven
Heaven is
on earth.
apparently heaven is 100 girls, drug friendly, and free booze in the middle of the desert.
According to Islam.
Yes.
Wait, when is it? August
70.
2nd?
Get it right.
Or 72, actually.
72.
August 2nd is tomorrow.
It never says anything about girls, though.
Let's
It
quickly
just
set
says
up
virgins.
a PayPal account.
We
And
should have done a GoFundMe.
I was going to say,
everybody,
I got to go get in my car and start driving.
Yep.
I have to be in Vegas by tomorrow.
Sex Island.
Let me just take out this $6,000 and,
Oh, my God.
babe, I just got booked this gig. I have to pay
if I
them.
do
But,
it, like if I'm like
it
if
only
like
costs
if, like
me.
if,
She's like, what are you getting paid? Negative $6,000, but I think I could sell some shirts. I think I could
like
sell
if I
some
was
shirts.
single and I like had cancer or something, and you had like a couple months to live, why would you not do this?
What if you do and you don't know yet? Why would you pass that up?
What if you're single with cancer right now and you don't know?
Well, that,
What if there's some kid at the Make-A-Wish Foundation that says this?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I've decided my wish. I want to go to Sex Island. They're like, we can't. I'm a dying child.
Yeah, why wouldn't you send a kid there?
Give me my wish.
That's not legal, I think. Well,
kid.
I guess.
Well,
you
if it's a kid, if it's 18,
There's got to be a waiver for a
There's
dying
gotta be a
kid, though.
dying
You
18-year-old
got to have
that-
a dying under 18 waiver that's like, look,
This kid
I'm
can't die
having
of
sex
virgin.
before I
Robert,
die.
Robert Schimmel had a joke like that. He's like, his kid had cancer, and he's like, his Make-A-Wish was for his dad to get a blowjob. But yes,
hilarious.
Sex Island. I can't wait for the memes to come out with this. But I don't think it's the same idiots that went to Fyre Fest. 'Cause
well,
they thought
and
they were
it's
gonna-
also only
No,
50
this
idiots.
is meant for pervert older dudes like me
Yeah.
that have $6,000 to blow. You know, but I can't do it because I'm married. I mean, the guys like me that are divorced.
Yeah.
Yep. Like,
That's what it's for. It's for
this is,
older dudes.
This
just
is
like
the
who go-
opposite side of the Just Divorced app. So there's
Yes.
the Just Divorced app looking
Exactly.
for relationships, and then there's the newly divorced man Sex
This
Island.
really is.
Totally, exactly.
It is a
if I
great-
just got divorced and I've been in a cold ass relationship for years, I'd be like, babe, we're divorced. I'm going to Sex Island. You know?
Sex Island.
Where's it at? Vegas.
I love it. That'd be great if at the end you win the Super Bowl. It's like, what are you going to do next? I'm going to Sex Island.
Oh my God.
I hope it works. I hope it succeeds because, you know,
That really would be a good gift for somebody, right? I mean,
For certain, yeah. You'd have to know that, like, it'd have to be the right person, but that definitely would be a kick-ass gift.
but the thing about it though, with like Fyre Fest, people were like posting about how they got fucked. Like guys who go down here and like maybe it's like 3 girls and 100 guys, and the girls are like disgusting. They're not gonna post I got fucked over at Sex Island because you're not gonna want to know that you've been there.
Right.
So I don't think anyone will ever know.
Well,
how
it's also
good
only
this thing
50
went.
people.
oh,
How many-
absolutely. No, if you do get fucked over, you're going to be like, I got the wrong kind of fucked. You know, yeah, I think you let everybody. I'd put them
Really?
on blast.
No, you wouldn't.
And you spend $6,000 and there's no return on investment. Oh, you're going to hear
But you
it
don't
from
think
me.
you don't think people would be like, well, why are you going to Sex Island to you? And,
I don't.
like,
I think at that point you
Would
don't
you care? Yeah.
Of the
If you're
60
going to Sex
of the
Island, you
60
don't care if
men
people know you're
paying
going to
that,
Sex
of
Island.
the 50 men paying that, there's got to be at least a dozen who'd be willing to put it on blast.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe not everybody, but there's at least a few that are like, you know, swagger guys who live that kind of life anyway, who are going to have no problem whatsoever.
If I worked for Vice or Viceland, I would send like my guy
Oh,
over there.
yeah.
Why wouldn't you do a report on this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like,
yeah, sure. why
They
not?
probably will.
Yeah.
We'll probably
could
see
you
it.
imagine getting that assignment? Listen, can we
man.
talk to you in an office? We got to talk to you for a minute. We want you to do this report. Listen, you're going to have to go get blowjobs, do drugs, and have sex with 100 women. But we need you to do a report on it for us.
Try explaining that to your wife. Honey, it's just work.
Yeah, I got to do it for work.
My wife killed me for having a scene with a girl in our bed where I got. Imagine me
Nothing. When
trying
she
to-
broke up with you,
Yeah.
didn't even touch each other.
Yeah, imagine having to like explained to her I'm going to sex. It would be over. I wouldn't finish the
I'm pretty
sentence.
sure you'd come home to an empty apartment.
Oh, I wouldn't even finish the sentence.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, I'm going to sex, and then she'd be gone.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, what happened? Where's the baby?
I was just gonna say I'm going to sex you up real good, but you left. So
I can't imagine Sex Island.
Sex Island. That's all I can think about now. Are you thinking about
I'm
it?
thinking about it deeply.
Right?
Yeah. Wait, so there's a limit to how many people can go? 50 people?
50 guys, 100 girls, and you can switch girls as much as you want.
Switch girls.
That's what it said. You read it.
apparently they only want to make $300,000.
That was in the ad.
Yeah.
6,000. Yeah, how are they making the money? Right.
I love you suction a girl right off of a dude. Like, can I have her now? My turn.
Yeah, you can't have it whatever you want.
No, what if she's being used?
Yeah.
You know there's going to be a couple girls that a couple of girls are just going to have a line. And then, and then there's going to be the other girls sitting around going, who wants to fuck this? And you're like, I'm waiting for Canyon
Not
over
me.
here.
Sex Island for women would be like 100 dudes listening and doing chores.
I'm waiting for Brittany.
It'd be like the worst. Like imagine there was like the girls, and there'd be like 100 dudes that are like,
While they yell at you from another room.
yeah.
There's going to be 3 hot girls fucking 50 dudes. And there's going to be,
Yeah.
97 ugly chicks sitting around waiting for you to get drunk enough to take a turn.
Yeah, what's in it for the women here? Like,
Money.
Money.
so they're probably getting a cut of the island of that.
They have to be, but it's only okay.
I mean, if 300 grand is coming in, 100 grand for expenses, probably 100 grand to the girls, right? If it's 100 girls, probably grand each.
$1,000 for days of fucking
Yeah, it's gotta be more,
strangers.
right?
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, it
right?
depends. We haven't seen what kind of girls are getting yet.
Right,
We don't know.
Right.
Maybe it's like, all right, you come here, you get to bang these girls for free, but
How many days is
only
it?
for
But
10
you gotta
minutes.
fly yourself out to Vegas.
How
They
many
take you on a
days is it?
helicopter. 3 days. So how much are they really
Listen,
spending?
I can go for so I can spend $6,220. Okay,
No, but I'm saying, so I'm
Right.
saying like,
like
I
the
don't.
$220 to get
No,
there
I'm
is
saying,
not.
I don't know if it's 100.
the prohibitive
$220
factor.
Get
I don't
there
know if
and
they're
back.
spending $100,000.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I don't know if they're spending $100,000 on expenditures. Like, what are they spending it on? ATVs,
Food.
You probably get that like.
Food,
Setting it
booze,
all up,
ATVs.
yeah, the whole
You think
setup.
it's $100,000 spending?
Yeah, it sounds like the helicopter, all that stuff. I would expect their expenses to be 100 grand.
So that doesn't.
They have to rent the place.
The math is weird, right?
It's
Maybe
weird.
50 grand of that is all. So 150 to the girls.
Yeah.
Dude,
you
I
know?
bet there's hidden fees.
like how we're
There's
like-
got to be hidden fees. Like you get there and it's like, yeah, it's $6 grand, but then you walk in and it's like
Water is $100 a bottle.
Yeah, each session, like if you want
There's
the
one
girls, it's
air-conditioned
$50
room.
an hour or
Right,
something.
you can fuck out in the sun and get blisters, or this one air-conditioned room is an extra $300 cover
Yes.
charge.
Or
Yeah.
this whole thing is a plot to find marriage guys cheating. And then like
And blackmail
it's like
them?
it's
All
like
their
a
wives,
it's like
yeah.
a reality show. You get there, it's like your wife for the fucking camera, like a
It's
lawyer.
like To Catch a Predator, only To Catch a Creep.
Yeah.
To Catch a Creeper.
It's some MTV show that fucking hidden camera.
Unfaithful.
Remember that show? Do you ever see that like Tool Academy? That was the funniest show. These guys thought that they were on some show called like You're the Man, and then they got there and they were like, "Congrats, you're a tool." And then it was like how not to be a tool, and their girlfriends were there like yelling at them. It was
No.
It was,
I
yeah,
don't- I
it was
don't
called.
remember
Tool.
that.
It was lasted like one season.
This is why you shouldn't fuck with reality TV, man.
Academy.
It screws over way more people than it benefits.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah.
preachers that 1 in 1,000
It had-
that
it was good for me.
that got to
Reality TV though. I don't consider the game like not a game show, but like a
But it is. That
It's-
counts
it's
as
a talent-
reality.
yeah,
TV.
it's a
And you
talent-
were one of the
but it's
lucky
a
ones.
talent
You were one of the guys
exhibition.
whose talent managed to overcome the moment and get some real juice out of it. But
Yeah.
again, you were one out of how many hundreds of comics that, some got disgraced, some got just completely, cut out for whatever reason. I mean, I'm already hearing about it now. Great. I tried to watch that show. What is it? Laughter, Bring the Funny.
I can't watch
it.
that.
Was so unwatchable. And like already I know someone that he's like, yeah, I got completely screwed over. Another guy that did it, he was like, Greg, you're going to love seeing me. And they showed him do one line. And he goes, I was so hurt because I crushed. And they showed me do one line and then cut me out of the show. And it's like, because the decisions were already made in advance.
And I don't know
this
anybody
is what's
watching
going
that
on.
show.
Nobody,
The
because
only
it's
reason-
absolutely unwatchable.
The only reason I know about that show is people that are on the show telling me to watch it.
Right. It's unwatchable.
But I knew it when you have what's that girl's name? The model that's married to John Legend.
Yeah, Chrissy Teigen.
Chrissy
When Chrissy
Teigen.
Teigen is judging comedy, I'm like, What?
Well, you know what though? I'd almost rather someone like Chrissy Teigen, because at least she's judging on what she thinks is funny, as opposed to judging on her brand of comedy.
I know, but
which
when I
what
did
you usually get when
I did-
comedians judge other comedians.
Okay, but when I did Last Comic and the judges were like, Richard Belzer and this guy, there was like comics that I respected. I'm like, oh
well,
shit.
that's true too.
At least you have a guy like Jerry Seinfeld or somebody that's like, okay,
Yeah.
these people know jokes, or they know comedy.
Well, yeah,
When
and
you
that's
have-
the thing. Like, she's not gonna recognize like, oh, they structured that joke this
No.
way. Oh, okay, I see.
But the
how
year
this,
that I did Last Comic, one of the judges was someone that wasn't even a headliner.
Yeah. Oh,
You know-
yeah. But Chrissy Teigen's worse, though. I mean, I just feel like she thinks she's funny because people around her are laughing all the time because she's like hot, the celebrity. But I don't think that she's a very funny person.
I think she's funny. I think she's got a lot of personality. I think she's funny on Instagram.
I don't know.
I'm not. Listen, I'm
If
just
that's
saying.
even her Instagram. That might be. Even
I'm just saying. I would rather her than someone who isn't even, a headlining level comic, but has a great manager.
Yeah.
Judging me.
It's also bad. But when you have like Drew Carey judging, I'm like, okay, all right, Drew Carey's a great.
Well, that's
comic,
true. But even when those guys judged, a lot of them walked off the set going, "No, we chose this guy,"
Yeah.
and the producers
Right.
are like, "Well, that's not who's going through,"
Yeah.
and so they fucking walked off the set.
Yeah.
Because they were like, "That's not who the funniest person was,"
Yeah, yeah,
and we
yeah.
saw that happen on Last Comic Standing.
literally happened. Yeah.
So I mean, even when it is those guys, and they say, "No, that was the funny guy,"
Yeah.
because it happened to Dan Natterman.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
all were like, "No, he should go through," and they're like, "No, he's not who we want," and they were like, "Fuck this."
I could talk
Yeah.
about that situation for 3 hours. I mean, there were times on Last Comic Standing. I remember they were like, I hated being in the house. We were judged on like whether or not we could do props with Carrot Top and like anything
Yeah.
but comedy. We did a Yo Mama contest
these
that
silly
Jamie
little-
Kennedy
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
thing that hosted, and then also we read children's stories to the girls, to the playmates.
Right, I remember
this
that.
is what
It's-
judged our comedy. I'm
Yeah.
like, so finally when you're like, guys, guess what? You're all performing. I'm like, thank God. is what
And
I
the guy-
said.
right, and-
then when I watched it on TV, they're like, you're all performing. You cut to me with my head in my hands, like, no. I'm like, from another shot.
Yeah,
And I'm
from
like,
a totally
that's
different
not what
thing.
happened. And then
Right.
they cut to like Ron G going, Adam looks scared as fuck. I'm like, I was going, thank God. Like, what? Like, they told whoever to say that.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Whatever they want it to be,
fucking-
it's going to be.
yeah, it's
And the
all
problem
bullshit.
is, it's so obvious now.
I
You watch
told
it,
them
and
that
the editing
I
is
almost
so
got kicked
harsh.
off the show because
It's
I was
fucking
on the
gross.
show and I actually won a competition and they said I lost, like the Yo Mama thing, and then they were like, I go, it doesn't matter how good I did because you guys are gonna edit the way you guys want and you're gonna make me look bad.
Oh,
and
there you
then
go,
all of
kiss
a
of death.
sudden, like the 19 people showed up and they're like, oh, we can't do. I'm like, come on, guys, I'm not an idiot. I know what's going on here. And then I was like, that was it.
No, yeah, and these shows, you watch them, the editing is so horrible. You're like, okay, he's clearly not laughing at what was just said. You clearly picked a laugh from something else entirely and slapped it to that because
Yeah.
this is completely
There was a kid.
incongruent.
There was a guy that I knew that I forgot the guy's name. A good comic that got through on because Last Comic they picked 30 people, but they only used 20. So even though they say you're going to Hollywood, you got a phone call saying you're off the show. That happened to me 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And there was a kid that also happened to that they said you're going to Hollywood. He got through, and then they kicked him off the show for no reason. And then when they aired it, they go, and some of the comics were terrible, and they took his joke, took away the punchline, and had him getting rejected. I was like, that's.
This is what I say. And I did a
Next
post like
level.
this. You know how I teach stand-up.
Yeah.
And this is, I have this, if you go to my website, thecomedyinstitute.com, there's a blog section called Just the Tips. And it's all my comedy tips. And one of them, the most recent one, I talk about the reality of fucking with reality TV. And that you have to realize there's nothing real about it. The winners are already chosen. Now, you might get lucky, and you might have that great season. You might, and that's why everyone tries. And you know what? You want to try, I encourage you to try. Just know there's also the chance of that you winding up on the fuck team. And more people wind up on the fuck team than wind up on the rig team.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know? And you just got to know that going into it, because it happens
No,
more often
I asked
than
the
not.
producer. I'm like, why are you guys doing that? And he goes, listen, we're evil people. That's what the guy told me. I go, okay.
Yeah,
all right,
their
well,
job is to fuck with you.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you got coming up? Tyler, Weendawg, what's up?
Go ahead, Tyler.
Going to see Blink 182 next
Nice.
week.
So am I.
You are?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And
on
Lil
the 8th,
Wayne.
on Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going
Next
too.
Thursday. Going to Blink. All right. So we'll meet up.
Yes.
We'll meet up. And then after that, got the UFC coming up. Still, I had my first training session last night. I rolled very, very, very lightly with a couple really small guys, like 135ers. I blew up my back 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you knew. So that's coming along. Not so much in pain anymore, but that's what I got coming up. If you want to give me a follow.
From doing jujitsu?
No. From lifting weights. Yeah. Doing deadlifts.
Good
like
work.
a moron.
So that's
so
on you.
stupid.
Weendawg, what do you got?
You can follow me on Instagram at the Weendawg, and also my new podcast will be dropping out this Sunday night. It's called Creepy Town.
Creeper Town.
Creepy Town.
Now, is that the one where you interview little kids at schools?
No, it's a YouTube channel. That's
Okay.
that's coming out later.
You
All
heard
right.
about that? He has a new show where he interviews kids at schools from a van.
Okay.
And also gives them free candy and ice cream.
Yeah.
He really does.
Yeah.
Dude, the FBI is going to come here one day
I'm
and
inspired
take
by
you away.
this YouTube guy.
Somebody made a picture of it. Joe Jaggy made a picture.
There's a
of it.
YouTube guy named Blippy, and he makes videos for kids, and he has like 30 million views on every single one of his videos. If you translate that to cash, that's like he's a billionaire. So I'm like, I got to get into the children's game. You know, I got to play with these kids, make videos with the
That's
kids.
not dumb, actually.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what
your
I'm saying.
execution is.
Yeah, it's
But
kind
the
of
concept.
But no, yeah. Kids are money. That's
Yeah.
where the money
No,
is.
because they are just feasting on these videos all day long, and they just go through channels, one at a time, whole bites. And so, if you could capture that, they're not watching TV anymore. They're just on their phones, just scrolling through videos.
Yep.
So if you can create a channel that they consume, you're right. That's where the money is on that platform.
Yep.
And Greg, what do you
Up
got?
to teenagers. I have a couple more shows of my fantasy meets reality comedy fantasy football show that I'm doing with Adam Rank
Nice.
from the NFL Network. And let me see. On the 9th, we will be at the Irvine Improv. On the 11th, of August. This is August now, by the way. We're in August.
I know.
11th, San Jose Improv. Let me see. The 15th at the Ontario Improv, and then the 18th, Oxnard Levity Live, and on the 31st, we'll be at the D Hotel in Las Vegas.
Oh, I like the hotel.
So be sure and check us out for those shows. So it's half stand up and half fantasy football Q&A with the audience. So while you're setting your drafts, getting ready to draft, getting ready to talk fantasy football, come chop it up with the guru, and I'll be on it as well.
Good for you. August, guys, I will be August 16th in Biloxi, Mississippi with Russell Peters. August 17th at the MGM National Harbor in Maryland. At the Looney Bin Comedy Club in Little Rock, August 21st to 24th. Tommy T's in Rancho Cordova, all my SAC people, August 30th and 31st. Edmonton, September 4th to the 8th at the Comic Strip. And the House of Comedy, September 18th to the 22nd in Phoenix, Arizona. If you like this podcast, if you want to support, go to rockfin.com, ROKFIN.com/Adam Hunter. Endorse me, endorse my page. It really helps me out. That's why you're getting so many podcasts, okay? The reason you're getting all these podcasts, I just did one with Dean Thomas this week that came out today. And last week I had one with Stephen Bonner. So extra podcasts, put up all my comedy, all my kamikaze comedy, everything on there. And it's a really cool thing because if you get my video, you also get Jordan Burroughs now has a channel on it. If you're into grappling, AJ...
AJ Agazarm.
Agazarm has one. Chael Sonnen has a thing on it. A lot of comics have it.
Askren.
Joey Medina, Ben Askren has it. Nick Diaz has a channel. Rich Aronovich has a channel. So a lot of people are getting channels, and it's really cool because they pay their content creators in cryptocurrency, and it's awesome. So I highly recommend it. Thank you guys so much.
Can I mention one more thing? I forgot. August 23rd, I'll be back in Dallas, my hometown. Headlining Laughs by the Lake in Irving, Texas.
Sounds awesome.
It's a big civic event, and I'm the big headliner this year, so come join. It's completely free. Awesome. So come, and if you wanted to see me work clean, this is your chance. I don't know. We'll see. I may be the last comic they have. No, I've done it. Obviously, I used to work colleges, and so I've done it before. It's not that big of a deal. So if you wanted that, but that's a free show. Outdoors, Laughs by the Lake, Irving, Texas, August 23rd.
Love it. Thank you guys.
Trap sons and trap dunson Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан Даадаш дуулан дур булаа мууруулаа